What's up, guys? Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. All right, guys. So yeah, let me know if you're buying calls or puts on Lucid Motors. We do have their earnings report dropping pretty soon here today. Again, let me know if you're buying calls or puts on Lucid Motors. Again, let me know if you're buying. Also, do me a favor, hit that like button. What's up, Kay? Hey, what's up, man? You think a pullback in the market is due? I don't know, man. The market's up pretty big today. Interested to see what happens, to be honest here. Again, y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We're going to be doing our daily Twitter poll on these earnings. Again, vote or calls on puts, whether you're buying calls or puts on Lucid Motors. Lucid drops their earnings report in about 25 minutes. We also have eBay, MGM, coming out with their earnings today as well. If you want to vote on this poll, you can vote here. Go ahead and give me a vote. Open it up in a new tab, of course, and then give me, let me know what you're watching on that poll. All right, guys. So yeah, the earnings call drops at 4 p.m. Think a pullback in the market is due. I don't know, man. Potentially. Again, looking at the SPY, Tesla's up big today as well. Tesla's at 925, but the broader market, here's the SPY up to 415. It's just a huge ramp, huge bump. So I'm not sure. We'll see. You know. Bullish or bearish on Lucid earnings. Vote on this poll as well. We do have this poll going. So vote on this poll when you can. Let us know if you're a bull or bear on Lucid. We also have eBay, MGM, and a few others. Lucid currently at 20.4s. Pre-bell about 20.4s. Hey, what's up, DS? Wow. Hold on. HKD pulled the rug. Earnings going to be released in about 22 minutes. 4K and profit. Yeah, SoFi ripped up yesterday. Ripped up today, man. Good earnings yesterday for SoFi. Looking at our Twitter poll so far about 65% of you saying calls, 35% are saying puts. Yeah, man. Honestly, HKD is absolutely crazy here. You can see it on the left side. Oh man, what goes up must come down here. Especially anything that's up as much as HKD was. Again, I'm not going to be surprised if it's just heavy amounts of manipulation here for HKD, but who knows why this thing is doing, even less volume today. Looks like just kind of dumping back down. Y'all just be careful. There's risks here with these things too. Again, today we got eBay, Allstate, McKesson. Robinhood was supposed to release today, but they actually released yesterday. Lumen, which I'm not even sure. Let me see. Lumen releases their numbers. MGM. And then we got Lumen, MGM, Fisker, which I believe is FSKR. FSR maybe? Yeah, FSR is what it is. I've seen all of these before. Biggest earnings company is going to be Lucid for sure. Western Union, bookings, Fastly. ENVB halt. All right, guys, we got about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Yeah, Fastly, small market cap. So yeah, biggest caps are going to be Lucid and eBay today. Here's eBay. eBay ramping up with the market today too. ENVB halted. ENVB is up to 1140s. Going absolutely ridiculous pre-bell today. Not a ton of volume here on this big move too. Kind of crazy how it's halted. I mean, relative to some of these other big moves, it depends on what the float is, I guess. Only 1 million in the float, I guess. 200,000 shares of volume is, 20% of the float. And so, yeah, interesting to see where that one heads to. So far, we got about 26 votes on the poll on Twitter already. We got about 61.5 saying calls, 38.5 saying puts. Yeah, Tesla ramping up too. So maybe Tesla is a good sign for EV companies in general. The Tesla didn't really have the biggest bull day relative to like the Q or the SPY. Q really put in the better days than anything, at least at the opening bell. But Tesla, kind of mixed results. It's slightly green on the day, but all right, guys. SPY is up to 415s here. We got Lucid up there at 20.5s. All right, guys. So Lucid pump it up pre-bell here. We got about 16 minutes before the close. You can see Lucid at 20.5s right now, 20.5 force. All right, guys, 20.5 here for Lucid, 20.5 for Lucid. Watching that ENVB, yeah, unhalted and ripping. Man, 13.75 here. This one's going absolutely crazy. What's the reason for this, for ENVB? Let's look it up. Enveric Biosciences announces the closing of an $8 million registered direct and private placement offering on July 26th. I don't really see anything new here for this one, though. We can look at the short data. It does have a short float, and it's a tiny, tiny float. And so could be somewhat of a short squeeze. Could be just getting pumped from having a small float, too. Yeah, all good, Walter. Lucid's at 4 p.m. Eastern. Hey, thank you, Angel. ENVB up to 1375s. About 14 minutes, guys. Again, let me know what you guys think. How did AMD do today? We were holding a position. It looks like we should have held. I mean, we made enough money with AMD today, but okay, so good. So we actually took profit right around the highs for AMD. So we didn't actually get anything extra out of AMD today if we would have held. So that's nice to see. At least we didn't waste our time holding that one. Not a bad little green day today. We could maybe trade the SPY too on a dip, but it's just been moving so bullish. Again, one thing that I've always talked about is like whenever we get these sideways, you know, first 15, 20, 30, 40 minutes after the opening bell, it looks like this was about an hour and a half. When we get these sideways moves, almost always what you look for in this situation is like once these sideways moves happen, you buy this dip. And once you buy these dips, they're usually very reliable dips. We've talked about this on videos for the last like year, really, for this strategy. But yeah, once we form these rectangular sideways ranges in that first hour of the day, really, you end up buying. I always try to buy the pullbacks afterwards, very reliable usually, and then you just kind of hold it a little bit longer term and ride these type of momentum moves. So yeah, market at 415. Lucid pulling back a little bit. I think short term, you know, we got this 2020 something support level there. We've got $20 way down here. You know, that's kind of the top. Same thing here. Another example of a rectangular range break is there also on Lucid. We got this low down here too. So we can watch these three lows areas. This 20 level looks certainly interesting for Lucid, but see if it actually holds. Yeah, ENVB is just going crazy, getting halted, squeezing on big. Tiny float is what this is. So this is a million float stock and how they move. It's got a float. It got halted at 44. It'll resume in about a minute now. As long as it's a 5-minute halt, it might not be. But Lucid's pushing up. Looking at the poll, we got 67% that say they're bullish, 33% that say they're bearish on our Twitter poll. We got 68% saying calls and 32% saying puts. According to an analyst at Citigroup, Tesla is far overvalued, they say. Could plunge over 50%. Tesla stock is inflated, according to a Citi analyst, Itay McKelly. Basically, McKelly's reasoning behind this bearish rating is due to their autonomous driving tech and the view that Tesla stock is not factoring in a deepening economic slowdown. It says, it says, quote, and this is all quoting regarding Tesla. It says, quote, we think the current valuation remains challenging considering that the handful of other companies that previously achieved Tesla's current market cap did so, generating $100 billion of gross profit on average versus Tesla's second half of 2022 estimated annualized of $30 billion gross profit and $20 billion in the first half. And in the current macro situation, we need to be mindful that Tesla is adding sizable Model Y capacity in what are now price points of greater than 60K in the US, where the US market size is inherently smaller and where other EVs are also ramping. I don't know. Second quarter sales rose 43% from a year ago to 14.6 billion. Is one of the reasons that Tesla might be okay here at these current prices. Again, they rose 43% from a year ago to 14.6 billion. Operating profits are up 88% from a year ago to 2.5 billion as well. Second quarter was much better than worried, with good guidance. So, I mean, let me know what you guys think about that. Hey, what's up, Demetrius? Hey, yes, sir. Good to see you, man. It's halted in the last 30 minutes. It'll be a halted till close. Yeah. 8 minutes until the earnings report drops, too, guys. About 8 minutes. ENVB is at 1220s, 1240s. So, resumption has happened here. And let's see if it actually holds now. Lucid's still pumping up at 20.5s. ENVB is kind of the crazy move in today's market. All right, guys. ENVB trying to get back over 13s. It's at 1295s right now. Just really volatile. Lucid pumping up to at 12.5 or 20.5s, breaking highs of the day for Lucid. About 8 minutes before the earnings report drops. So Lucid's pumping up. All right, guys, Lucid up to 20.5s, up to 20.5s. Up to 20.6 for Lucid. Still pumping up. Yes, Mark. Yeah, we're going to be streaming it. But yeah, Lucid almost up to 20.6s here. If you look at like the daily chart for Lucid, it's not the best looking chart for sure, but it's pretty close to break even over the last year, which is better than a lot of blue chips. You know, a lot of blue chips are down over the last year. And so Lucid, well, it's still not a pretty chart, especially when you consider that it was at 57.70s back in December. It's still doing okay, and it's almost break even. It's slightly down. It's down by about what looks to be about 20% over the last year. So not a great metric, but at the same time, it's not doing bad relative to, like, if you look at Apple's chart, it certainly looks, or not Apple, it was Amazon, looked a lot more rough prior to this latest bull run. Tesla's actually doing okay. So Tesla's doing, hey, what's up, Chris? AMC ended up ripping all the way up to 18s today. So that's good, kind of following the overall market. Here's AMC. There goes ENVB still ripping here. There's Lucid. Still making moves up. All right, so the earnings are going to be dropping in about 5 minutes regarding Lucid Q2 earnings. Again, 5 minutes. We're not sure if they're going to drop exactly in 5 minutes. Usually they're going to drop after the closing bell. And ENVB just recently broke highs right before the closing bell. Got up to 1440s for ENVB. Crazy move. Lucid pulling back. Let's see if it holds 20.5. Basically, the reason we're up is because St. Louis Fed Reserve President James Bullard suggested that he does not think that the U.S. is currently in a recession, and that is making a lot of these stocks rip up because of it. AMC and SPY, yeah, they're moving. All right, up to 14.6. We got Lucid up there to 20.5s. So it's going some. Lucid will miss earnings on the basis of their cars being a luxury vehicle, inflation, supply chain issues, and mass production. Teething issues, yeah, for sure. Certainly, I mean, I don't think they're going to miss. They might, I don't know. All right, guys, Lucid up to 20.6 is here. Yeah, I was green today, slightly green. It wasn't a huge green day, but we were slightly green. All right, pump it up. ENVB is at 14s right now, 14s. All right, guys, so ENVB up to 14s. We got Lucid at 20.5s. ENVB is at 14s. We've got Lucid. Oh, yeah, I lost a bunch of accounts. BKKT finishing up MasterCard deal should help all crypto. I hope so, man. Crypto's been doing really well. Yeah, crypto's been doing really well over the last few days, mostly from the positive tech results we've had in terms of earnings. All right, guys, 2 minutes before the earnings report drops. It probably will drop sometime in the next 15 minutes. We're not sure if it's exactly going to be right at 4 p.m., but sometime in the next 15 minutes, really sometime in the next 17 minutes, the earnings report is going to drop. As soon as the closing bell covers, though, we're going to be covering eBay earnings. We're going to be covering eBay earnings, a lot of different ones. We got Lucid. Robinhood earnings are actually not out today. So Robinhood earnings were yesterday. So Lucid down to 20.5s. Again, about 2 minutes, guys. A little bit less than that. So once a gamer says, watched you about a year ago when I first started. Stopped for about 3 months. Glad seeing you stuck with it. You've been a great trader in my eyes over the past year. Stay humble. Hey, thank you, man. We appreciate it. We try, dude. We try, dude. Again, I try not to gloat. I gloat, like, ironically, I think. Halfway seriously. But, like, I try to be honest is really what it is. I truly try to be honest. And so, yeah, we appreciate the support, bro. Thank you, man. All right, guys. ENVB pulling back. We got like 30 seconds before the closing bell, about 30 seconds. mRNA had a great day too. It got up to almost 190. AMTD and the HKD craziness settled down a little bit. Here goes ENVB is at 13. So we're going to watch the SPY. As soon as the closing bell happens, we're going to be watching for eBay, MGM earnings, and a few other ones. So yeah, as soon as the closing bell happens, we're going to be covering the big news as it drops. We got Lucid, we got eBay, and we have MGM, all dropping earnings after the bell today. All right, so there's the close, waiting for the earnings to actually come out. And we'll let you know as soon as we get the data. All right, so there's ENVB, Lucid. Let's watch the Q on the left side here to see how the Q reacts to the closing bell here. Lucid pushing up a little bit pre or post bell up to 20.6 this year. I'm pretty sure nothing happened yet. All right, we're at 20.6, 20.7s for Lucid. All right, good luck, James. Top 3, yeah. I need it, you know. So far at Riot, we're fun, yeah, for sure. Crypto should probably crypto going out probably boosted Riot. All right, so Lucid pumping up a little bit. Just got an influx of volume just now, about 850,000 shares. For Lucid just went through on the volume bar. I don't think the numbers are out yet. Let me see. I can check. Also, we're peeping out MGM. Nothing for MGM. Lucid. Nothing for Lucid. eBay. Is this eBay? Yeah, eBay. Nothing for eBay either. All right, Lucid getting some volatility. It looks like the earnings are probably out, but maybe not. Getting a few candles that move. We got candle up to 20.7s for Lucid. Still waiting for the data to come out. Big red candle down to 20.5s. So maybe it's just sideways volatility pre-release. Yeah, I don't know. I'll go trade. There's too much risk there. Q is up there. Let's look at eBay. We do have eBay numbers coming out too. eBay, we've got MGM. MGM's pumping up. It looks like they might be out with theirs yet, but maybe this is just kind of waiting. There's Lucid with a sizable drop down to 20.4s. Could be algo trading though, like somebody said. Lucid, nothing. eBay, nothing. MGM. Lucid with a pretty sizable drop here, though. Tesla had the shareholder vote today, right? All right, big drop down to 20.4s, but still nothing yet. We do have MGM. Nothing for that. eBay. Nothing for that, so. Lucid's down some, but it's not like a crazy big drop, to be honest. And so we're just hanging around waiting for these numbers to come out. Nothing for Lucid. Nothing for eBay either. Yeah, big orders coming in. When does eBay release their numbers? They're all going to be released sometime in the next 15 minutes, most likely. So all of these are going to be out sometime in the next 15. They're usually with these numbers, it's post bell, so it's after 4 p.m. The exact moment nobody really knows. It's just kind of when they plan to release it. I guess you know, with Lucid, their earnings call is not until 5:30. So we still got about an hour and a half until that earnings call for Lucid. Lucid is at 20.4s right now, 20.4s. We do have eBay, nothing out yet for that either. And usually you'll be able to see it happens with a big move either way. So nothing, no real huge moves. The biggest move we've had is on Lucid on the downside, but it's still not like a crazy sizable move. Like, you know, like the earnings are out yet. So just kind of kicking back, waiting here, guys. Also, if it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. Okay, so still waiting. eBay, nothing out yet. Still waiting on these. We got Lucid up there. We have MGM. All right, there's eBay's numbers are almost certainly out. eBay just with a pop, really quick. Yeah, so eBay did drop their numbers. Lucid just appointed Stephen David as Senior Vice President of Operations. eBay ramping up. All right, so yeah, eBay did drop their numbers. eBay is showing revenue of 2.4 billion, down 9%. There goes Lucid numbers. So again, here's the eBay numbers. We do have eBay numbers out. It looks like Lucid numbers are out as well. Lucid with a big drop down to 18.5s. eBay with a big pop up to 54s. Here's the eBay numbers. Waiting on the Lucid numbers to come out as we speak here. Here's the eBay numbers. Give me 1 second for the Lucid. I see those are about to drop now. Lucid, sizable drop down to 18 bucks. 1 second. So Lucid posted second quarter revenue of 97.3 million. Customer deliveries of 679 vehicles in the quarter. Strong demand with over 37,000 reservations for Lucid, representing potential sales of approximately 3.5 billion. Production volume outlook for 2022 revised to a range of 6 to 7,000. Still waiting for the actual numbers for Lucid though. Aside from these, let's see. Our quarter two revenue was 97.3 million. Closing the quarter with 4.6 billion in cash. And yeah, give me 1 second. We'll post the full numbers here for Lucid. But that's the initial results. eBay pumping up too on those numbers. eBay posted a EPS beat by about 10 cents a share. Sales of 2.4 billion beat. So eBay beat on both fronts. They also had better than expected or at least on par on the higher end of expectations for fiscal year 22 guidance. Third quarter adjusted EPS for eBay was 89 to 95 versus 92 expected. So on par with expectations. Sales came in on the high end of normal as well for eBay. Lucid bouncing back up. It's up to 19s here. So Lucid is bouncing back up. And so yeah, Lucid dropped their numbers. eBay is not. Their numbers are out as well. All right, but Lucid started to come back. It's almost up to 19 here. I don't know if MGM is out with their numbers either yet. Nothing out for MGM. But eBay is out with theirs. Lucid posted EPS for the second quarter coming in at 33-cent loss. Beat the 36-cent loss estimate. Sales of 97.3 million. Missed the 145. So a big miss in sales. Here's the Lucid numbers. The full Lucid numbers here. So yeah, Lucid missed pretty heavily in terms of sales is what this was. And so Lucid dropped second quarter EPS of 33-cent loss, beat the 36-cent loss estimate. Sales of 97.3 million, missed the 145.49 million estimate. So Lucid actually had better than expected EPS, but they missed on sales, and it's a pretty sizable miss. They missed by about what looks like about 50% miss. Or they missed by about, about 33%, give or take, about 30% miss for sales here. So production numbers, we're getting those now. They reported H1 of 2022 production of 1,405 vehicles. According to Benzinga. 1,405 vehicles. So yeah. So again, Lucid beat on EPS. Big sales miss. So they beat on EPS and a big sales miss. We also put their production numbers in chat just now as well. if you guys want to see those. But yeah, not good for Lucid. Not good. They see the fiscal year 22 production outlook for 6,000 to 7,000 vehicles. So there's the numbers there as well for those. And we'll cover eBay in a little bit. We're gonna update this to have the updated. Hold on. We're gonna update this to have full data numbers coming out for Lucid, so you guys can read all of it. But yeah, H1 production came in at 1,405 vehicles. And then they expect total fiscal year 22 production of vehicles to be at, let's see, 6,000 to 7,000 vehicles. So here is the full Lucid data here. So this is everything they reported right here. And Lucid's getting ready to break lows down to 18. Yeah, Nicola, tomorrow morning will be interesting. So the earnings call actually isn't live yet. The earnings call is going to be at 5:30 in about an hour and 20 minutes. So we're going to watch everything else as well. I'm using Benzinga to look up the numbers, guys. So if you want to check out Benzinga, here's a link. Can y'all hear the music? Let me know if you can hear the music. You should be able to. But yeah, here's the Benzinga link if you want to check it out. And so MGM dropping their numbers, it looks like. MGM pumping up to $35 a share. But it doesn't look like MGM is actually out with their numbers yet. They're moving up though pre-release. Lucid just broke lows. So yeah, nothing out for MGM yet in terms of earnings. Lucid's also appointing Stephen David as Senior Vice President of Operations. I should probably include that here. There's the full Lucid numbers again. We're appointing Stephen David as Senior Vice President of Operations. All right, Sunrun, we can share those numbers too. Give me 1 second. Nothing out for MGM yet. Sunrun's earnings call is actually going to be at 12:30. Sunrun did drop their data numbers. They dropped second quarter EPS of 6-cent loss, beat the 10-cent loss estimate. Sales of 540 or 584.58 billion, beat the 494 estimates here for Sunrun. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, hey, you push on the door quickly. You don't pull on it or push on it slowly. You kind of bump the door, Jack. We got to get some WD-40 for my office door. All right. All right. No, you go. You kind of hit the door like this. Boom. See? That's how you do it. Good job, bro. All right, guys. But yeah, there's the Sunrun numbers. Lucid down big. Took 100 shares of Nicola just before close with a 20-cent stop loss. Why is Lucid crashing? Well, Lucid dropped better than expected EPS. So, you know, in terms of earnings, right? EPS is profitability. So Lucid was a little bit, they lost a little bit less money than expected in terms of profitability margins, where they expected a 36-cent per share loss. They ended up showing a 33-cent per share loss. So a little bit lower than expected there. Sales came in at a big miss, though. They posted 97.3 million in sales, and they expected 145.5 million, essentially. So that is bad. H1 production numbers came in at 1,405 as well. Reports fiscal year 22 production outlook of 6,000 to 7,000 as well. Yeah. All right, guys. So Lucid bouncing up a little bit. All right, guys. Starting to move back up a little bit. We're at 1875s for Lucid. 1875. Yeah, SPY just flew today, man. Lucid is very long term. Yeah, I think if you're going to invest in Lucid, it has to be. MGM just pumped up. It looks like MGM just dropped their numbers. Let's see what those came in at. And so, yeah, MGM just dropped their numbers here. Dude, I wish the company could just condense their numbers to a simple, here's our EPS, here's our sales, here's our revenue guidance. You know what I mean? Just give me those three metrics. You know, don't make me read this report. I don't want to read this report, you know? Like, bots can do that. But, like... All right, so MGM repurchased 1.1 billion of shares. Consolidated net revenues were 3.3 billion compared to 2.3 billion in the prior year, an increase of 4.4% or 44%. Diluted earnings per share of 4.20 in the current quarter compared to 14 cents the prior quarter, so much better there. Net revenue of 2.1 billion for Las Vegas strips. Yeah, we're gonna wait for the MGM numbers, but looks like MGM came out pretty positive. It's almost up to 35. Yeah, I mean, I've said it once and I'll say it again regarding these niche EV companies, man. I think short term is going to be hard to build the consumer base that they need to build products. And I said this morning on this morning stream. I think these niche EV companies, it's going to be really hard for them because I think this is the logic you have to understand in terms of like EV companies, right? So people are going to say I'm hiding because I'm using this. So I'll put this up. So this is the logic you have to understand about these, right? You need to understand that people who are going to opt to buy EVs, right? If you're going to buy an EV, what are you going to buy, right? If you were not a stock trader, what kind of EV would you buy? You'd buy a Tesla. Why? Because a Tesla is a status symbol at this point in time. You know, you own a really nice, Tesla Plaid status symbol. The problem with these, and so that is why Tesla is doing that well, is because Tesla somehow ingrained itself as a status symbol luxury model. And while these type of companies can call themselves luxury, it's going to be hard for them to build the consumer base, with the price points that they're currently at. It's going to be hard for them to build and get enough hype and production orders to justify the company. You know what I mean? And so it's one of those things where that's the question mark with these EV brands. That's the question mark. And of course, you guys, as stock traders who watch specific stocks and who like and dislike specific stocks, you guys are going to buy the niche EV brands. Why? Because y'all trade the stocks, right? But if you were completely independent of that, if you had no idea about the stocks in general, you would buy a Tesla if you wanted to buy an EV. Again, it boils down to it being a status symbol as opposed to, I put it this way. Nobody wants to be Clark Griswold in National Lampoon's Vacation. Okay. Nobody wants to be that guy. You're going to go with the brand that has the most support. MGM pop it up a little bit up to 35.60s. All right, so MGM International second quarter EPS of 3 cents doesn't compare to the 26-cent estimate. So MGM actually dropped much worse than expected EPS. 3-cent profit. They expected 26-cent profit EPS. Sales of 3.3 billion beat the 3.04 billion estimate. So sales came in better than expected for MGM, but much worse than expected EPS. But this is another reason the stock market doesn't make sense here. Again, MGM with a pretty big EPS miss, so much less profitable than originally expected. They originally expected 26-cent per share estimates in EPS, or it's 26-cent per share estimates. They showed 3 cents. 3 cents. And MGM is breaking highs up to $36. Lucid pushing closer to lows here at $18 a share. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that too, Chris. You know. Oh, yes, SQ earnings this evening too? I could have done SQ earnings call, but we'll keep it with Lucid. All right, guys. So Lucid bouncing at 18s, and I like Lucid. I think Lucid is one of the best looking EV companies out here. Like, I think the Lucid cars are really nice. I'd buy one if I had room in my garage. I'd buy one. You know, because the Lucids are pretty, man. They're pretty. I like them. But again, the real question is, are there going to be enough consumers willing to buy them? You know, you and I, guys, I know y'all are sitting at home like, hey, no, I like Lucid. I would buy one. And it's like, that's true. But you and I are stock traders. You know, y'all are stock traders like me. Y'all watch Lucid. Y'all know about Lucid. General public does not. You know, general public is going to say, I'm going to get a Tesla. You know, they're going to say, I'm going to get a Tesla. It's a status symbol. They have at least some infrastructure and support. The other thing is, are these wheels feasible? These are huge wheels on these Lucid vehicles. You know, and generally speaking, larger rims and wheels decreases handling capabilities. And so these wheels are kind of big, man. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, Polestars are cool. I saw a Polestar actually in my neighborhood, so I know at least Polestars are at least selling some of their vehicles, because I saw some in my neighborhood the other day. Yeah, SoFi flew yesterday, man. Great earnings. What's your top 5 favorite stocks long term? Apple, Disney, Amazon. Apple, Disney, Amazon. Not Microsoft. I would probably go with Nvidia. Apple, Disney, Amazon, Nvidia. I'd have to think about the other one. Maybe AMD. You know. Intel. I like Intel too. SKLZ earnings out yet? Let me see. Gotcha, man. If y'all have any other earnings y'all want me to go over, let me know. SKLZ. Lucid testing lows at 1808s. 1808s. We'll see if it actually holds these levels now. All right, so SKLZ, nothing out yet for them. I know people said SQ earnings were today. I didn't even know. Okay, so SQ earnings are going to be tomorrow morning. Or no. The conference. Okay, no, SQ earnings are tomorrow evening. We'll cover them then. Okay, so SQ numbers are tomorrow evening. So we'll actually be able to cover that then. You know. So yeah, so we'll actually be able to cover those. So that's nice. So yeah, we'll be doing the SQ earnings tomorrow. What other earnings are tomorrow? We got Twilio, Lyft, maybe BYND, Zillow, Expedia, DoorDash, Dropbox, Chegg, Carvana. SQ is now Block. Amgen. What's the biggest cap tomorrow? Is it Twilio? WLO? Twilio's market cap. Twilio's market cap is 16 billion. SQ, I think, is like 30 billion, right? Or 45 billion for SQ. So SQ, we'll probably cover an SQ tomorrow. Lucid up to 18s here, guys. Lucid up to 18s. So let's see if it holds support. This is right around the low of the day for this. Yeah, sales were really bad. Sales with a huge miss. They expected 145.5 million. They only showed 97. So they essentially expected about 150 million in sales. They showed less than 100. That was why Lucid stock dropped. If you want to know why it dropped, production numbers weren't great, but this is why the stock dropped almost certainly. Just huge miss there, you know. They showed about 50% less sales than expected. You know, they expected 150. They showed less than 100. What do you think about Mullen? I think Mullen's battery tech is interesting. But as for betting on Mullen long term as an EV company, I think there's big risks there for sure. You know, just because I think their tech is good with batteries, but whether they'll be a successful car company is a completely different story. Yeah. All right, Lucid bounced at 18, so let's see if it actually holds support here now. Yeah, someone can buy Mullen. I think that's a reasonable potential bullish argument for Mullen, is that they might get bought out. I think it's the same reason Roku. I don't really like the Roku technology. I think that Roku technology is too easily replaceable with competition from TV brands who want to just include their own version of Roku software in their TV. And so I think that makes Roku very, very vulnerable with regards to hardware long term. But I think they probably understand that, and they're going to be willing to get bought out by another company, because I think one of these TV companies like Sony or Samsung or whomever are going to come along and be like, yo, Roku, we'll buy you for X billion, and, you know, right off into the sunset. And I think Roku probably will accept it, and that'll be good for the stock, of course, but all good. Yeah, again, I just think the problem with Roku hardware, and we've been having this conversation for like a week now. I think it's an interesting conversation because I think if you've been trading the stock market long enough, you've seen Roku grow as a company, right? But I think there's vulnerabilities there. Also, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We certainly appreciate it. Hit the notification bell. Also, guys, I want you all to do me a favor right now. I'm talking to you right there at your computer chair right now. I want you guys to go subscribe to Beginner Crypto. We do have a crypto channel. We are growing our crypto channel. And I want you guys to go subscribe to it right now. There's the link. Check it out. It's youtube.com/beginner crypto. We're growing that channel right now. Lucid up to 1820s. Well, I think whenever you're any type of CEO in a company like this, like a startup that has a kind of bleak outlook long term, I think that, you know, I'm not saying that they're going to intentionally mislead people, but I think that sometimes it's in their best interest to not be as transparent as possible. Like, think about it. If you're a startup CEO and you understand that being completely transparent is going to kind of be like a self-fulfilling prophecy, to where like being too open is going to cause the stock to just tank, right? And you don't want the stock to tank. And so what do? You withhold a certain amount of transparency because of that. And yeah, I don't know. QNRX. Tesla has their own battery factories. They also own the mines for raw materials. No one else is even close. Yeah, for sure. Tesla is the EV company, and that's what I'm saying. I 100% agree with you, Larry. I think Tesla is the EV company. Tesla Neo is probably second. And outside of that, it's not even close in terms of like who's after that. It's not even close. QNRX, what is happening? MGM finally pulling back, and MGM actually posted pretty bad EPS miss. EPS expected profitability of like 30 something cents per share. They only showed 3 cent per share profitability in EPS for MGM, and it dumped. eBay initially ripped up and then pulled back some. The broader stock market here is down in after hours. VVV, Valvoline. I don't know much about this company, but we can check it out. The conference call is scheduled for tomorrow for VVV. I don't even know if they dropped earnings yet. Okay, so yeah, they did. But this was Monday where they came out with this stuff for VVV. They reported third quarter prelim adjusted EPS of 58-cent profit versus 56 cent per share profit estimate. Sales of 957 versus 935 estimate. So they posted better than expected results. Not sure why they dropped, but they mostly posted positive results for earnings. Polestar would be big. Rivian had good chatter and tons of cash, but now their survival is in jeopardy even with Amazon support. Yep. You talking about QNRX, Larry? Yeah, who's QNRX? Sheesh, man, what is this, dude? Bro, what is up with this? These last 2 weeks have just been absolutely ridiculous in terms of just huge parabolic moves, and I love to see it, man. I think it's great for the market. It's great for me as a educational stock trading YouTuber guy. It's great for me here, man, but sheesh, dude, these things are flying, man. We had HKD, we had AMTD, we had ENVB right before the close. Now we got QNRX just going crazy here, man. And these are big moves here. These are huge percentage moves, hundreds and hundreds of percent for these. Tiny floats. These are all small floats. ENVB, 1 million float. Tiny float. And if you guys don't understand the significance of having a small float, let me know. I'll tell you guys why these are moving like this. But yeah, ENVB, tiny float, about 1 million in the float, just huge rip-ups. QNRX, another one, just going absolutely crazy at 1730s right now. So just huge moves for these, just crazy big. Big percentage moves too. Well, because it's not so Haliotro says, how do you have positive earnings when you lose money? Because it's not about how much you're losing. It really isn't about that at all. There's two things that are really important in terms of earnings, and it's expectations. It's relative to expectations. It's always relative to expectations. A company can lose 100 million, but if they thought they were going to lose 200, it's still probably going to gap up. Same thing with guidance, right? A company can have great EPS, but if they expect they're going to do terribly over the next year, stock's going to drop. Company can be the most profitable ever, but if they expect to turn in the next year, it doesn't matter. So it's all relative to expectation and guidance in terms of like stock market's reaction. You know, like I said, a company can think they're going to do a company can lose $100 million, but if they think they're going to 5x their revenue in the next quarter, then they're still going to fly. A company can lose $100 million, but if they expect a $200 million loss, they're still going to go up. All right, guys. So we got Lucid at 1825s. 1825s. All right, guys. So yeah, Lucid down to 1820s. Finding some support, though. We're finding some support, just to say some optimistic things. We are finding some support. Again, I do think if you're going to invest in Lucid, you need to understand this is a long-term play. You know, a 4% or a 1% drop is not much. You know, dropping from 20 down to 18 is not much. You know what I mean? What really matters is long-term. You know, and so if you're a believer in Lucid, you're a believer in it. But if you're going to hold these things, you know, and again, I'm not an investment professional. We're not liable if you lose. You always got to make your own assessment and trade responsibly and all that good stuff. But in my personal subjective opinion, I think if you're going to hold Lucid, you need to be in it long term. You know, now I'm not saying if this thing tanks, make your own decisions. I have no idea what it's going to do. It might just crash, you know. But if you're a believer, you got to believe it long term. Short term, there's going to be fluctuations in any up and coming startup like this, you know, and so you got to be prepared for that. It's not going to be fun. Hey, thank you, Kay. We appreciate that, brother. Thank you, man. Hey, what's up, Melissa? Called 12 to 27. Hey, nice. Hey, brag away, Melissa. That's great. That's great. But I mean, the EPS is earnings per share. What it really is a gauge on how profitable the company ultimately is. And so when you hear earnings per share, think profitability. You know, company posts a big miss in terms of EPS. That means they were less profitable than expected. Hey, thank you, Kay. We appreciate that, dude. Thank you, bro. Appreciate the support, man. Yeah, for sure. Stocks are, and again, if you're going to invest in it, you got to really invest in it. It's not swing trading, you know. Hey, nice, Larry. Hey, great trade, man. Great trade. All right, guys. So yeah, we're starting to move back up for Lucid. We're now at 1830s, 1830s. All right, we're up to 1840s for Lucid here. QNRX is at 17s. Yeah, QNRX is going to be one that we got to watch at the opening bell tomorrow. This thing probably is going to fly. Maybe not, though. This thing might dump. It's already up huge amounts here. Last time we saw a squeeze look like this, it was I don't know. Last few years, we had AMC, we had GameStop, obviously, we had Kodak. Recently, we had a few other ones move, but they weren't quite like this. I can't remember the recent ones, but yeah, QNRX just a huge pump. Yeah, a lot of the big craziness went down. I did the thing John says not to do, hold a biotech bag. And while you might have had your day doing it, I still don't think my advice is wrong regarding bag holding penny stocks. Most of the time, they're going to fail. And so you might have been the 5% that succeed, but doesn't mean everybody should. And I'm happy for you if you made money. I really am. It's not like I'm against these companies. I've just seen so many people lose money getting really hyped up on a terrible, obscure penny stock that eventually gets delisted and goes to zero. And so I'm not going to be that YouTuber that just pumps up penny stocks trying to inflate my own positions. I'd rather just be real, you know. Oh, you're losing on it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Melissa. I thought you were talking about QNRX. Oh yeah, my bad. Sorry. Which one are you holding? Yeah. Okay, I see you, Melissa. My bad. But yeah, I mean, like I said, again, in order to morally justify running this community, I got to be real with people. So, you know. Oh, AEMD. Yeah, I thought AEMD looked kind of good today in pre-market. Not good. I shouldn't say good. I mean, it gapped up some. Yeah, I mean, with this one, you know, let me see a longer term chart, 10-day chart maybe. I'd look at like 150. And 150 psychological level under the low from today. Previous highs up there too. 150 seems reasonable to pay attention to. The other one we had moving today in penny stocks was ENVB. Look at this one right now. This one's kind of going parabolic too. It was at 590s. It's now at 1270s. So ENVB is ramping up too. I don't know if you're actually joking, Mike, or if there's really a stock symbol. Okay, yeah, you're just messing with me. Q3 won't be good with Lucid price action will linger until 16 to 22 until they beat expectations. Fourth quarter of 22, that's even questionable. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see. But honestly, I've seen some crazy simple ticker symbols, you know. Got to thank John. Been following him for a year, and I've learned so much on how to trade. Used to lose on penny stocks all the time from the YouTube gurus. Yeah, man. It's just rampant. And the reason it's rampant is okay. A lot of gurus sell courses, right? A lot of gurus sell courses. And a lot of them sell courses on penny stock trading because they understand that penny stocks are going to be the most affordable marketing tool for traders. You know, you try to say, hey, you got to buy 1,000 shares of Tesla. Not many traders are going to be like, okay, well, I can try that. You got to say, oh, yeah, you can get rich buying ABC penny stock. That's $2. And everybody's like, hey, I got $2. You know, I can buy that penny stock. And so then they sell you a course on it. And it's mostly fugazi, you know. But they're just super risky. You can make money on them for sure. And again, I think the way you got to trade these, if you're really going to do it, I prefer not to trade them all together, to be honest, with pennies. But if you are going to trade them, you got to trade it with money that you're okay with risking, and you got to take small positions and hope for big moves, in my opinion. That's what you got to do. I think that's the most reasonable way to trade them, is you can trade them, but you take small positions, and you hope for reasonable moves with your small positions. So it's like you can bet $200, and if it goes in your favor, you're going to make, you know, it's kind of like, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's kind of like calling with 10-1 pot odds with 7-2 offsuit in Texas Hold'em. You know, like you're probably going to lose, but if you do win, you're going to make much more than your investment. And so the risk reward is justifiable. All right, good luck, mister. Yeah, Lucid's been on a fun little road over the last year. It was up to almost $60 back in December. Rivian has been the punisher this year, man. Speaking of EV companies, Rivian has just been the punisher this year, man. This thing caused a lot of really big companies to lose a lot of money, like Ford and Amazon. And so, what do y'all think about Rivian's future long-term success? Likely or no? Yeah. Yeah, I guess it depends on what you're in it. You know, what you're in it at, Melissa. Thoughts on Robinhood earnings? I don't understand why Robinhood is up. I truly don't. You know, the only justifiable reason Robinhood could be up this much is because maybe people are speculating that because they're laying off 23% of their workforce, that they're now going to have a bunch of freed up money to use and post better than expected results in their next quarter is the only thing I can really assume here. But Robinhood, I believe they posted mixed results in terms of Hood. I think it was mixed. Let me see. What was it? They do have their conference call today at 5. So in like 15 minutes, you got the Robinhood conference call. But here's the thing, right? This is the funniest thing about Robinhood. Robinhood just got sued by the New York Financial Services Department for $30 million. Right? You know what they got sued for? They got sued because they didn't have enough employees essentially in their crypto division. Right? So Robinhood, a company that was recently sued $30 million by the SEC, or by the, let me make sure I'm getting this right. Robinhood's known to sue people. I'm going to preface this with I have no idea if anything I'm about to say is correct. Don't sue me. You know, not an investment professional. Robinhood, I'm talking to you. But no. So Robinhood, let me find it. Okay, so Robinhood was sued. Wait. Sorry. I'm trying to find it. Robinhood was sued by the New York State Department of Financial Services. They were sued $30 million for essentially not having enough employees in their crypto division. And Robinhood's following that, Robinhood announces that they laid off 23% of their company. You know, so it's like, okay, so if Robinhood is getting sued because they don't have enough employees in their crypto division, then deciding to lay off 23% of its overall employee base, then ripped up huge the following few days, it's just nonsensical. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me, but like, the only justifiable reason it might be going up is the fact that maybe people are speculating that now that they're laying off a quarter of their company, essentially, that they're going to free up a lot of money and do well in their next, you know, quarterly earnings reports. I don't know. That I guess that I could understand that logic, I guess. But I'm not confident enough in it to buy Robinhood, so let me know what you guys think. Oof. QNRX pump it up again. Yeah, there's Hood though. Hood, big rev up today. You know, the question mark is this just following the overall market? I'm not sure. Here's QNRX, all the way over $20 a share now. All the way over 20. Again, y'all do me a favor. Go sub to Beginner Crypto. We post a lot of these crypto news here. All right, so go sub to Beginner Crypto. There's the link right there. Again, we got about 40 minutes until the actual earnings call for Lucid. All right, guys. So yeah, Lucid's still at 18.25s. QNRX is flying up this morning or this evening. Just huge moves. Yeah, Dan, I think that's a little bit short-sighted, but it's all good, brother. We can agree to disagree here. I think that people don't understand cryptocurrency, so they act like it's just fake money, or they act like it's just they don't understand it. The reality of it is, crypto market is just a less regulated form of the stock market. That's all it is. So when you look at a cryptocurrency, instead of thinking of money, I think the currency and the name makes people think that it's just made up money. It's not. It's just like it's essentially its own company. Like a cryptocurrency is like a company. It's like a stock. It's the same thing. Stock and crypto are essentially the same thing. One's just less regulated and has more opportunities because of that lack of red tape. Also inherently more risk, though, for sure. But again, when you look at something like ETH, which is essentially a startup, these are just startups. These are companies. Again, the name currency makes people think that they're not, and makes people think that they're just made up money. And so everybody's looking at it like it's everybody's looking at it like it's the next gold or it's the next US dollar, when it's not. It's essentially a startup. I'm a computer scientist. Well, I'm a programmer as well. I'm a React and React Native mobile programming developer. So I get it. And again, it's a subjective thing, I guess. So we could agree to disagree there. Yeah, we're able to listen to the earnings call here. Think this call would be good or bad for Lucid? Oof, I don't know. Calling crypto tulips is an insult to tulips, eh? Tulip mania, huh? I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I understand the skepticism. I don't hold a bunch of crypto, but I think ETH is incredibly powerful in terms of like use case. Hey, thanks, Spec. All right, guys. So QNRX is at 20.5s, 20.5s. We're watching that. Regardless of how you feel about crypto, guys, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We do this live for free right here on YouTube. We don't sell anything or charge for anything. We don't claim to be experts. We give everything away for free. And so if you haven't already, hit the sub button, hit the notification bell. We certainly appreciate all the support here, guys. We do have QNRX pulling back down at 1950s. They're also coming out with a Joker 2 movie. That'll be interesting. We got about 35, 38 minutes left. 37, 38 minutes, really, technically. Currency of the future will be digital, but it will not be crypto. Interesting enough. What's your top pick? I don't really have picks. I really don't know what anything's going to do, and all I can do is really speculate. And I don't really like giving out picks because I think that specifies sureness, and I'm not really sure about any of it, to be honest. I think it's all speculation, and I'd rather not feel guilty picking something for somebody else. I'd rather just tell people I don't know. I like ETH. I like VeChain. I think VeChain's interesting. ETH and VeChain, and there's a few other ones. Fortinet. Yeah, we can look at Fortinet. So their earnings call is actually in progress. Fortinet put in second quarter EPS beat of 24-cent profit per share, beat the 22-cent estimate. Sales in line with estimates at 1.03 billion. So good results for FT&T here. Here's FT&T. QNRX still ramping up. They must have had bad guidance, I guess. What is going on, bro? Maybe they changed their. Why is Fortinet down on these amazing results here? Okay, so Fortinet put in much better than expected. This is what's strange here. All right, this is what's strange about this current market right now. And it's just odd. All right, so Fortinet posted second quarter EPS beat. It was only a slight beat of 24-cent profit, beat the 22-cent estimate. So it beat it by about 2 cents per share in terms of EPS numbers. Sales were in line with estimates. So in line with expectations, and EPS beat, right? So good numbers, no bad numbers there. It looks like their guidance was pretty on par with expectations as well. And they tanked after these announcements, man. They dropped from 63 down to 54 here. What an odd market right now, man. Stocks are posting great results and just tanking. Strange. No, I don't want you guys to buy anything. I don't know. Again, I really have no idea what anything's going to do. I don't want anybody to copy off of me. VeChain might just crash for all I know. I certainly don't like telling people to buy anything. Ever think about selling merch? We got merch, bro. Go to the description of the video and scroll down. You'll see it. You should see it. If you want to buy some merch from me, guys. Let me see. It used to be there. I don't know if maybe my merch is just not up. Okay, yeah, go to more. I know my merch isn't up. I don't know why. Maybe I have to figure out how to do it. Let me go to monetization and see if it lets me put my merch up. Where is the merch? I don't know. It's been a while since I've even messed with the merch. I don't try to push merch too heavy, you know. You want to see some good day trading videos? Check out this latest video that we dropped. Yeah, Lucid still consolidating sideways here. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, merched? Yeah, that's probably true, Dan. Almost certainly. What I'm seeing right now is they changed. So they reported a relationship of holdings for some of the executives. It looks like non-GAAP, so which is generally accepted accounting principles. Again, I always try to tell people what this stuff means because it can get really jargony. You know what I mean? Like stock trading, especially like earnings releases, can have a lot of jargon in it that people don't understand, and it just kind of discourages learning because they just get really confused and just ignore it. So yeah, when you hear GAAP, GAAP is generally accepted accounting principles. When you hear EBITDA, it's earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. But yeah, I'm looking at everything. I don't see anything crazy. I have to go look at the actual filing for this though for FT&T. But yeah, it tanked big. It's rebounding some now. Yeah, Chris, I do think that if there's a reason to be skeptical, it's that, you know, it's like who started it. The fact that we don't know who started it is a little suspect to me. You know, it's a little strange. Yeah, Fisker dropped their numbers. Fisker dropped. Let me see what they showed. And again, stick around, guys. We're going to be covering the full earnings call in about 30 minutes. FSR did drop their numbers. They posted second quarter EPS of 36-cent profit or 36-cent loss per share, beat the 41-cent estimate by about 4 cents. That's all I'm really showing here in terms of reporting. FSR, I'm sure it's about break even from these numbers. Again, they did a little bit better than expected in terms of EPS for Fisker. Speaking of crypto, Bitcoin back up to over 23K. We'll see if it holds. I will say this, right? I will say this. Like, people dislike crypto, and I understand the skepticism and the hate for it. I will say this, though. I think that banks have controlled our money for years, for centuries, for millennia, really. Banks have controlled people's money, and I think that eventually it should be completely independent of any corporation, of any independent body from our money. I think our money should be completely independent of that, and I think cryptocurrency is a way to do that. Making it completely independent of some other corporation, some other being, is a good thing for our finances. And of course the banks don't want that, because the banks want to control our money, and of course that's what it's caused a lot of problems, in terms of like foreign policy, in terms of like value-based currency, in terms of the petrodollar and all that stuff, oil and banking. And so I think independent way to manage our finances isn't a bad thing. But again, it is a subjective view, and I certainly understand the skepticism. SPY at 414s. Hey, wait, what are you doing, Chris? You're dealing with 2 probate cases of what? Oh, no, that's you, Melissa. Sorry. Yeah, there's a lot of people that got rich basically from Bitcoin's pump. I mean, it's not really a lie. Again, I don't even know if crypto is going to be the one to do what I'm talking about. But I do think making us independent from banks is a good thing. Now, whether crypto can and will do that, I don't know. But I think being independent from banks is a good thing. Right, exactly. Crypto is mostly a company. Like, crypto is, again, it's not really a lie. It's more so how you view it. When you look at cryptocurrency, it's very startup-like. A crypto is like a startup. It's kind of like a stock. It's just a less regulated form of it. It's certainly not a hedge against inflation. Most of the crypto market has been following the broader stock market over the last year or so. So it's not really a hedge, I would say. I know people claimed it was, but it is what it is. All right, guys. So the earnings call is actually going to be at 5:30. I was actually wrong. Let me see. All right, guys. The earnings call is going to be in about 27 minutes. 27 minutes. Well, I think that's a little bit stereotypical, Dan. I think there's some really smart people involved with cryptocurrency. Like I said, I think there's some smart minds involved with it. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, you can't look at it as an actual currency. Cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin, is just way too volatile to be a real currency. Yeah, it's just way too volatile, to be an actual currency. It's simply a huge meme stock and NFT. All right, guys. We got about 25 minutes. If Lucid survives till morning above 18, I think I will short it and buy some Tesla. Hey, good luck there. At least my Astros beat the Sox. Freaking Rafael Devers over there at the Sox, man. He's just too good, dude. All right, guys. Like I said, about 25 minutes. SPY pushing up today. Pulling back a little bit. QNRX is going absolutely crazy. Up to almost $20. Huge rips for QNRX. Just big momentum coming through for this one. Again, the earnings call is going to start in about 25 minutes. eBay posted better than expected results, and it's kind of break even from the earnings call. If you look at eBay numbers here, eBay numbers are as follows. eBay posted second quarter EPS of 99 cents, beat the 89-cent estimate, so it beat EPS by about 10 cents. Sales of 2.4 billion, beat the 2.37 billion estimate. Yeah, go Stros. This is eBay and Lucid on the right. We're just kind of looking at the left side is kind of the variable option where we're just kind of moving back and forth between different symbols and tickers. We got FSR moving down a little bit. eBay. We had MGM drop numbers too. MGM dropped. I think they dropped better than expected results for MGM. We have Tesla with their shareholder meeting today, which, you know, it's mostly break even on market hours. Green on the day pretty nicely as well. Up a solid amount on that front. Apple is up to 165. So Apple just flew up today with the broader market. 25 minutes until the actual Lucid earnings call. And the Lucid earnings call is going to be in about 25 minutes or so, a little bit less. I'm using Thinkorswim. This is TD Ameritrade on the charting. I'm also looking at Benzinga if you want to check out Benzinga. Walmart. Yeah, retail, I don't know, man. Retail looks okay, and I know Walmart did really good in terms of some of their stuff over the last few weeks, but they had a pretty rough earnings release, and that tanked the retail market. You see how much it dropped. The question with Walmart is people keep saying that Target is going to beat Walmart. I don't know. Target's incredibly expensive. I go to Target. My wife drags me to Target. I buy like 5 things. And it's like $500, you know. Yeah, I know Apple. I know the symbol for Apple. We looked at it. It's AAPL. It's up there. It's green on the year. AMC all the way up to 1820s right now too. So AMC's flying, mostly following the market. I think AMC's been following the market lately as well. What do you think? Is the bear market over? I'm not going to say that. I really don't know. I think when you look at everything, I hope so. I hope so. You know, I will say, like, 2020 put a real damper on the overall market and economy. You know, and so I think that now that people are mostly back to normal in terms of like what they do and how they are, you know, market's actually red on the year. If we could break over this 440 level in the SPY, you know, that'll be huge. And I hope we hold. I think short term we got like a $400 level that we can pay attention to. Brace for leg 3 of the bear run. I guess that's a good poll question to have. We did our poll here. We got about 500 and something votes. Bullish or bearish on Lucid. Pretty split down the middle in terms of these the poll results here. We also did a poll on Twitter. Also, guys, give me a follow on Twitter if you haven't already. Give me a follow on Twitter if you haven't already. We did a poll here, and we said, "Is it time? It's time. Lucid stock earnings, calls or puts." We had 54.4% saying calls. I have about 80 votes or so over the last hour. 45.5% saying puts here. So pretty split on that poll as well. And again, if you want to vote on this poll, let me know. Give me a follow on Twitter while you're here, though. Again, the earnings call starts in 10 minutes. All right, so yeah, the earnings call is going to be streamed live here. Earnings call is going to be streamed live here at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is in about 21 minutes. I know, but so real money is just an IOU note from the bank. You know what I mean? And so I would understand that argument, Dan, if real money wasn't so diluted as a whole anyway. You know, like we can call it real money, and it's what we use, of course. It's what's widely adopted and accepted, but it has no backing either. You know, and so it's like people can criticize crypto, but our U.S. dollar has no backing either. There's nothing really tangible with it all. So I mean, it's supposed to go with our gold mines or reserves, but that hasn't been the standard for a while now. It's a, you know, what's the difference? I know stability is one thing, of course. Yeah, but I think the whole argument is for crypto is that the state shouldn't control your money. You know. And again, I'm not saying for or against it. I'm just kind of giving you the arguments. Twitter's at Beginner Trade. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I posted my Twitter link. I don't think I did. Here it is right here. So here is my Twitter handle. If you want to vote on the Twitter poll again, here it is. So yeah, there's the Twitter poll. Go vote on it if you haven't already. Let me know if you're bullish or bearish. Well, Michael Saylor's not really controlling Bitcoin, you know. And, you know, if you look at the nature of cryptocurrency, nobody really controls it. You know, you might have whales that come in and influence it, though. Mullen. Yeah, what do y'all think about Mullen here? Again, I'm very skeptical about Mullen's long-term success as a company. I think their battery technology is amazing. I think a buyout is most likely for that type of stuff. But as opposed, but relative to their actual production, car production, I don't know. I'm very skeptical of Mullen. All right, guys, about 18 minutes. 18 minutes. Oh, it depends. That's a subjective thing, Andrew. Everybody's a little bit different. Some people are investing in it. Some people are trading it. Some people are, you know, holding it. Some people are laundering money with it. You know. I'm not really a Tesla guy. I don't own a Tesla vehicle. It's not that I hate Mullen. I think in terms of market cap and every other metric used to analyze an EV company, you know, Tesla is far better than Mullen, you know, mostly because of infrastructure and just capabilities here. Mullen has great battery technology, but they're pre-production on their vehicles. And so I think that's a very vulnerable thing for a company to be. And I think that their battery technology, while amazing, is going to be very difficult to put forth in terms of vehicle production. And I think that's big risk in stock trading. That's big risk, you know. And so because of that, I think it's a little bit too vulnerable for my tastes here. But it is a very cheap stock. And so, I mean, listen, if you truly believe in it long term, it's pretty cheap. I mean, you know, I think it could get bought out. I think that's one of the bullish arguments for it. Same thing with, yeah, Polestar is listed. It used to be GGPI. I don't know if it's still GGPI. I think it's something else. What is Polestar now? Is it ROD? No. Is it? What is the new Polestar symbol? It used to be GGPI. PSNY is what it is. Yeah, so here's Polestar. Yeah. They came in at 50% production, unfortunately. Tesla is unprofitable. No. Tesla printing money. Yeah. All right, guys. We got about 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Yeah, for RIDE. I put up the ride symbol. Everybody's like, oh, no. They don't even like that. AMC, man. How about AMC today? Are y'all bullish or bearish on AMC? You know, at 1814s. We use Epidemic Sounds. Storm. All right, guys. 14 minutes. 14 minutes until the earnings call here. Just kind of hanging out, waiting. AMC Bull. Music is awesome. Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, been a really amazing few weeks for growth, guys. Definitely appreciate it. So let's keep on growing. We're edging closer to 82,000 subscribers, guys. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Certainly appreciate the support that we're getting here every day. And yeah, we're going to continue to push, continue to grow. We're going to keep pushing. But yeah, pretty solid few months of growth coming in here, and we're going to keep pushing here. We're going to be covering all the big earnings tomorrow. We got Alibaba, right? What's the big earnings tomorrow? I think it's Alibaba, Paramount, Shake Shack. Oh man, Shake Shack sounds good right now. Nicola. Oh, we got NKLA tomorrow morning. That'll be interesting. And then tomorrow evening we've got SK or SQ. I mean, we could do BYND. I don't think BYND is a huge company anymore. Lyft is also doing their earnings report tomorrow evening as well. So we'll be covering the biggest market cap one out of those. And then DraftKings is Friday. So we're going to be watching for those as well. Next week, we got even bigger earnings. And the other thing that's happening next week, guys, is the CPI report's coming out next week. So CPI is dropping again next week. The Fed minutes is going to be coming out sometime in the next few weeks as well. So we got some big things happening here, and we're going to be covering them live as we do on this stream. Yeah, I guess here's the problem with BYND. I've always been a little skeptical of BYND, and here's the reason, right? I think people are underestimating the amount of, like, okay, so I saw the Impossible Taco, and I saw Burger King adopting BYND or Impossible. The problem, though, is that people that are going to be, like, vegetarians and vegans, like, they are not going to, okay, they're very health-conscious people, okay? So, like, if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian, you're you're usually going to be a health conscious person. Nobody's going to go to freaking Burger King, man. You know, it's like, oh, it's kind of like offering these super vegan meals at Burger King. It's kind of like offering caviar at McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can put caviar on the menu at McDonald's, but who's going to buy it? You know, it's kind of what they're doing with BYND. You know, I get it. It's all about the taste, and that's cool and all. But, like, again, it's kind of like having caviar at McDonald's. Like, nobody that goes to McDonald's is going to want caviar. You know, and people that want caviar, they ain't about to go to McDonald's to get it. You know, and so it's just kind of like BYND. I think they overestimated their market interest, you know, for something like that. And while it's an interesting and unique technology, I think they just overestimated their market interest. Oh, BYD. Oh, yeah. Well, I was mostly referring, BYND has earnings tomorrow. And so I was kind of mentioning BYND. Hey, thank you, Oh No PUBG. Hey, thank you, Chris. But But yeah, tomorrow we do have BYND earnings. AMGen Lyft. All right, so Lucid pop it up a little bit, guys. And again, we got about 10 minutes before the earnings call. We're going to stream it here, as we do. What is BYND's market cap even? Let me see. I can imagine it's over like 10 billion, right? Yeah, it's 2 billion. Okay, I guess that makes sense. AMGN. AMGN is pretty big earnings tomorrow. So AMGN is pretty big. They've got 130 billion market cap. So Amgen's dropping their numbers tomorrow as well. Again, we got SQ, which is pretty big. We got Twilio. Twilio's got about 16 billion market cap. Yeah, we're going to be covering the earnings tomorrow for SQ. Most likely SQ. Yeah, I'll good rip. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. I think the market is big. I don't know, man. The McLobster is a thing? Yeah, but how well does that actually do? I can't imagine it does great. Yeah. Why people that don't like or can't have meat want meat in the first place? Well, because meat tastes good, because we're biologically programmed to eat meat. Now, some people as a moral issue choose not to, and I'm okay with letting people do whatever they want to do. You'll see the walking shark video. Somebody got a video of walking shark. 9 minutes, guys. McCaviar, bro. Hey, coming soon. The beginner trading caviar McDonald's. You know, McDonald's gonna open up a new meal. It's gonna be called the BT caviar meal. It's gonna be 2 buns and just caviar in the middle. You know, with ketchup. Would you eat it? Dude, the Oreo McFlurries are like one of the goats. You're from Lebanon. Nice, man. Hey, listen. I talked about it yesterday. If you're ever in Baton Rouge, go to Sirap's. Go to Sirap's Express. Or Abash is pretty good too, but Sirap's is really good. Best Lebanese food. What happens if earnings are good? Is the stock going to go up after market hours? Well, in the current market, if the earnings are good, the stock might actually drop. At least how earnings have been lately, at least, you know. All right, guys. Like I said, 7 minutes here, 7 minutes before the earnings call. Yeah, I don't eat McDonald's anymore. I'll eat McDonald's breakfast on very random occasions. Like if for whatever reason we don't have food for breakfast at home, and we're going out somewhere and we got to get it in a hurry, I'll get a McGriddle, you know. But I feel bad when I do. I don't eat regular McDonald's anymore. I'm just getting too old, to be honest, to eat it. It's just bad. Lucid will be fine long term. They have a lot to prove, but this economy, especially for up and coming companies, is rough. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think if you're going to believe in Lucid, you got to believe long term. And I'm not telling you should or you shouldn't. I really don't know what Lucid's going to do. Again, it might just crash. But I think if you're going to be investing into companies like Lucid, you need to look at the bigger picture here and not short-term gains, because I think short-term gains are going to be risky and very difficult to judge with not technical analysis, but fundamental analysis in terms of short-term. It's going to be hard to see some good gains, I think. So if you're going to buy Lucid, it should be long-term, you know. All right, guys. Yeah, we got about 6 minutes. Hey, thank you, SPAC. All right, team. So before we take a look at this, though, guys, y'all check out stonk.tech and join the waitlist for me here for stonk.tech. So we do have, it's like a really nice trading social media company. We're going to be a part of it when it goes live. We're still in the waitlist section, but y'all do me a favor and join the waitlist. Pretty cool company. Check it out. It's called stonk.tech, STONK.TECH. Again, up and coming trading social media. There's a lot of really cool stuff here, guys. So check out. We're gonna be on it as soon as it goes live, and so check it out. Of course, we're always gonna be on YouTube, though. We're gonna stay on YouTube, to be honest. But you know, check it out. Here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. I don't know. That's an interesting question. Do you think Neo will react bullish, or because they're competitive, do you think they'll go down? I don't know, or vice versa of that. I mean, so yeah, I could see either way. I mean, we can look at it for Neo. Neo, I don't know. I tend to like Neo. Neo is my second favorite EV company after Tesla in terms of like potential long-term success, in my opinion. I think Neo has already established itself as a great EV brand, and I think what it did really well is bring in the whole country and really the whole market that they have over there. You know, I think that's one of the benefits of it over Tesla, because I think they're going to prefer domestic products as opposed to Tesla. You know, and so I think that helps Neo a lot, and I think that is a dynamic that will make it a little bit more competitive with other EV companies in that niche. But yeah, so far, I mean, Neo's down a little bit, not really moving much in after hours, though. Yeah, for sure. Dan, 100%. I won't touch Baba because of that. They're just too vulnerable to the government over there for me to really want to put any big money behind those. But I think Neo's a little bit different, because I think they do want a competitor to Tesla. And so I think they're going to get behind it, and they have in a lot of ways. All right, guys, 3 minutes, guys, 3 minutes. Let's do this. I'm going to get ready. Again, can y'all hear the music? I just want to make sure you can hear the music, because that's going to let me know that you're going to be able to hear the earnings call as it drops and goes live. One second, guys. All right, guys. All right, guys. Earnings call is going to be starting pretty soon here. Pretty soon. We got the earnings call up. And yeah, we'll see what we can get. Team. Good luck, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Again, during the earnings call, we are going to put it in sub-only mode. And so if you appreciate the like I said, you might agree or disagree with me about specific things. It's all love here. It doesn't matter either way. It's all good conversations to have, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with me. And so if you appreciate this content, guys, hit the subscribe button. During the actual earnings call, we are going to put it in sub-only mode. So hit that subscribe button. Help us grow. We just put it in sub-only mode now. And so, hey, hit that subscribe button. The earnings call is going to be starting in about a minute. And so if you appreciate it, we do day trade, swing trade, and invest. A $30,000 account with about 120K in buying power every morning on YouTube for free every weekday morning. So if you hit the sub button, you hit the notification bell, we certainly appreciate that. And yeah, let's see what we get today, guys. Earnings call should be starting very, very soon. We're going to close the music down as well. And yeah, let's see what happens here, team. Just kind of hanging out, waiting. I'm going to mute the screen audio so I can judge when the actual earnings call is going to start. All right, we're still on hold here on the hold music, so we're still waiting. Again, we got about a minute or so until they start, most likely. All right, team. All right, guys, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell.
Or hand during Q&A. You can dial *11.
All right, can y'all hear this? Let me know. Sound check. Oh no, you jerks! Why are you gonna? They did the whole switcheroo. I mean, they said, "Oh, the call's about to start." Boom, nothing. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure this is about to start. Hold on 1 second. Call should be starting pretty soon. Still got the hold music on. All right, guys. Hit the like. Stop being lurkers. Hit the subscribe button. You know you want to. Still waiting here. Still waiting. Got about a minute maybe or less. Here's Lucid on the top right. During this call, we're going to put like the queue up here. So there's the queue at 320s. Lucid on the right side, the queue on the left side. We'll even make the Lucid chart a little bit bigger here. Still hadn't started yet. Still waiting. Hey, we appreciate the support, guys, for sure. China's, yeah, for sure. Aston Martin EV program, that'd be nice. We'll see, Walter. We'll see, man. All right, guys. Let's do this. Still waiting here. Nothing yet. I'll refresh the screen just to make sure I'm not missing it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Yep. Still waiting here, guys. Almost done. Earnings call should start any moment now. They still got the hold music on, so as soon as the hold music is done. No, I mean, I put the queue up because it's tech-based. It's tech-heavy. It's a broad market ETF. Still waiting here. Nothing yet. You know what you could do while you're waiting here, guys? Is hit that subscribe button. You know, that's a possibility. I heard good things happen when you do. Everybody's doing it. Just try it one time, see how it feels. Hit that sub button, hit the notification bell. We certainly appreciate you all. And yeah, let's keep growing here, team. Hit that notification bell. Still waiting on these guys to start. They're running a little late today. Still waiting on the hold music. Still sitting here with the hold music playing. So waiting for the earnings call to actually start. Who is this? Hey, what you doing, man? Oh. They said they were about to start, and then they just keyed the wait music again. Yeah. Still hanging out, guys, waiting for the earnings call to start. It should be starting pretty soon here. We're going to go ahead and switch this out to say earnings call in progress. Should be starting anytime now. All right. Still waiting, guys. Still waiting. Earnings call should be starting anytime now. Damn, dude. We're still waiting here, team. Nothing started yet. And yeah. Can't find his phone. I don't know, man. I'm sitting here listening to this hold music, waiting for the earnings call to start, but nothing yet. I got some slapping acoustic music though playing here. All right, guys. Oh, man. Oh, I think they started. Hold on. There they go.
To the Lucid Group second quarter 2022 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants
Sound
are on
check.
a listen-only
Sound check.
mode.
Can you hear?
After the speaker's presentation, there will be a question and answer session. To ask the question during the session, you will need to press star 11 on your telephone. I would now like to hand the conference over to your speaker for today. Maynard, you may begin.
Thank you, and welcome to Lucid Group's second quarter 2022 earnings call. Joining me today are Peter Rawlinson, our CEO and CTO, and Sherry House, our CFO. Before handing the call over to Peter, let me remind you that some of the statements on this call, particularly those regarding the future financial performance of the company, production and delivery volumes, macroeconomic and industry trends, company initiatives, and other future events, are based on the information that we have as of today and include forward-looking statements within the meaning of the Private Securities Litigation Reform Act of 1995. Forward-looking statements are subject to numerous risks, uncertainties, and other factors that could cause actual results to differ from expectations, and we refer you to the cautionary language and the risk factors in our quarterly report on Form 10-Q for the quarter ended June 30th, 2022, as well as other documents filed or to be filed with the SEC for a fuller discussion of such risks, uncertainties, and other factors. Forward-looking statements made during today's call speak only as of the time they are made, and we are under no obligation and expressly disclaim any obligation to update, alter, or otherwise revise any forward-looking statements, whether as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise except as required by law. You are cautioned not to place undue reliance on these forward-looking statements. In addition, management will make reference to non-GAAP financial measures during this call. A discussion of why we use non-GAAP financial measures and information regarding reconciliation of our GAAP versus non-GAAP results is available in our earnings press release issued earlier this afternoon, as well as in the investor deck available on the investor relations section of our website at ir.lucidmotors.com. With that, I'd like to turn the call over to Lucid's CEO and CTO, Peter Rawlinson. Peter, please go ahead.
Thank you, Maynard. In Q2, we continued to see strong customer demand for our vehicles, with over 37,000 customer reservations as of today. That's an increase of more than 7,000 in the quarter, up from the 30,000 reservations as we reported last quarter. Now, this 37,000 figure does not include our agreement with the government of Saudi Arabia to purchase up to 100,000 vehicles, which is entirely incremental. Nor indeed does it include potential reservations for our forthcoming SUV, the Project Gravity, nor even potential reservations for Lucid Air in markets outside of North America, Middle East, and Europe. As such, we're very pleased with the reaction from customers and the excitement surrounding Lucid Air. And we believe that as we get more of our vehicles into our customers' hands and expand our test drive program, that our momentum will just continue to build. We're also pleased to report that Lucid Air continues to garner many industry accolades, besting some very well-established luxury car brands. Now, for example, we debuted the 1,050 horsepower Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance in June at the Goodwood Festival of Speed in the UK, which features some of the world's fastest vehicles. Well, the Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance recorded a Goodwood hill time climb of 50.79 seconds in the shootout. And that's the fastest time of any production road car at the event. And the 12th fastest time overall, which included many racing cars. Now, to be clear, only racing cars were faster at the event, and many of the racing cars were not as fast. Now, this demonstrable performance advantage lies in Lucid's in-house EV powertrain technology. Lucid designs, develops, and manufactures all our core EV technology in-house. This vertical integration differentiates Lucid from virtually every other car manufacturer today. However, with all that positive momentum, I do have to say that this quarter has proven to be a very challenging period. And whilst we have experienced supply chain and logistics challenges along with the entire industry, the limitations of our logistics system have compounded the challenge. And although we continue to face supply chain constraints, the resolution of some earlier gating component supply issues allowed us to push toward increasing the production rate. And as we attempted to push forward the rate, we found that our logistics constraints prevented us from scaling meaningfully this past quarter. For example, our ability to feed the correct parts to the line at the correct time and cadence, where each car is built with thousands of parts, and do this whilst maintaining a high Lucid quality build standards. So with that, let me walk you through our first half and Q2 production and delivery figures to provide a little context. In the first half of 2022, we produced 1,405 vehicles. These were factory-gated vehicles, and this means that they're completed and ready for delivery to customers. But in Q2, we also made a significant number of vehicles that we did not factory gate, instead electing to hold them back in order to ensure that these cars met the highest standard of quality. Remember, quality must take a priority over volume as a luxury brand, and I'll touch on quality a little bit later. Now, from a production standpoint, we had both planned and unplanned pauses in the quarter that resulted in approximately 2.5 weeks where we had no daily production at the factory, in addition to pauses of a more transient nature related to supply chain and logistics issues. A production pause due to installation of body shell assembly equipment and robotics for the Lucid Air Pure was pre-planned. The equipment has been successfully installed, and we're on track for the start of Pure before the end of the year, which we expect to be hugely significant for us as a company. At the same time, we did also experience some unplanned production pauses, primarily in order to improve our logistics processes, which, as I stated earlier, became more apparent as we started to scale. So, as a result, we are reducing our 2022 production guidance to a range of 6,000 to 7,000 vehicles. Our revised outlook guidance for the year reflects the logistic challenges I described as we began scaling, which exposed the immaturity of our logistics processes. But I do believe that we've identified the primary bottlenecks and have already taken steps to begin to remedy the situation. We have made the significant decision to bring our logistics operations in-house. We've made key hires to the executive team, and we've restructured our logistics and manufacturing organizations accordingly. We accelerated access to our logistics center as part of our phase 2 expansion in Arizona, and within a couple of months, we expect to have our logistics center on site at AMP1, which should help mitigate and begin to eliminate the logistics bottlenecks, as well as reduce costs of the shipping and handling of parts. Furthermore, we're overhauling our logistics processes and introducing a series of improvements to simplify the system and yet make it more efficient and robust. I'm pleased to announce that Stephen David has joined Lucid as Senior Vice President of Operations. Stephen will report to me and will be based in Arizona at the center of our critical manufacturing and logistics operations. In this newly created role, Stephen will lead global operations, including oversight for the expansion of AMP1, as well as future operational centers. The business leaders of supply chain, logistics, manufacturing, and quality will now report directly to Stephen, ensuring we execute in tight alignment across these business units. Stephen's wealth of experience in manufacturing and operations will be a tremendous asset to Lucid. Most recently, he was head of component operations at Stellantis, responsible for business operations, including P&L, for 2 companies within the organization. And before that, Stephen served in a variety of leadership positions at Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, including Vice President of Manufacturing and Engineering Manufacturing for Asia Pacific. Stephen has expansive and in-depth experience in the automotive arena. I'm also delighted to welcome Walter Ludwig, Vice President of Global Logistics, to our executive team, who will be reporting to Stephen. Walter brings over 28 years of automotive experience and joins us from Mercedes-Benz, where he held various roles, including head of operations, head of quality, and most recently, head of central logistics. For the last 20 years, his main management focus has been ramping up and stabilizing the manufacturing plants in Germany, China, Russia, Argentina, and the United States. Walter provides operational leadership in developing and implementing best practices in automotive logistics and parts management, material planning, as well as other areas. Now, moving on to the deliveries. Last quarter, I highlighted that we delivered well over 300 vehicles in the month of April. In Q2, we delivered 679 vehicles to customers. Our decision to prioritize quality had an effect on our deliveries, and quality is an organizational priority. I've been working with the team to make sure that nothing leaves our house without meeting our high standards. Now, in fact, I'm joining today's Q2 earnings conference call directly from our AMP1 factory right here in Arizona. I'm right here on the front line. And I've been spending the vast majority of my time here, right here on the shop floor, as I believe it's my responsibility as the CEO to be here resolving issues and helping to onboard the new executives. Indeed, I feel particularly at home on and around the production line, where I am personally and directly engaged in helping solve problems. It is right here that I witnessed the passion and the camaraderie of the Lucid employees in the factory firsthand, and particularly our much valued associates who are so engaged in this process. And this is very real. They are so engaged because, just like me, they really want to build the world's best cars, and just like me, we want to do that in volume. And believe me, we're working tirelessly to make that happen. And so I'd like to personally thank all of our employees for their sheer dedication and for working alongside me, shoulder to shoulder, right here in the factory. Now, we've also made enhancements to our quality processes that are yielding improvements. The quality of the cars that we're factory gating now are excellent. And we're working to make sure that this excellence in quality is consistent at scale off the line. Again, quality simply must take priority over volume as we establish our brand reputation. In the quarter, we aligned manufacturing quality and field quality under Nick Mimbiol, our Vice President of Global Quality, and that is already yielding improvements. We also brought in Sung Hai Moon as Global Head of Supplier Quality. Sung Hai joins us from LG Electronics Vehicle Component Solutions Company, where she was the Vice President of Field Quality and of Customer Support, responsible for leading all aspects of field quality performance, customer support, and aftermarket for products. Prior to LG, Sung Hai served as Powertrain Quality Director for General Motors International Operations in Asia. Now they, along with the team, have already identified areas for further improvement. And implementation has been underway, and these, combined with existing planned process improvements, give me confidence in our ability to ramp significant production volumes. On a positive note, our ability to produce cars has not been limited by our ability to manufacture our electric powertrain. And this advanced technology, which truly differentiates us, is manufactured in-house by attendantly advanced processes. And these are largely all going pretty well. And when you consider just how advanced these systems are, this part of the story is really quite an achievement. And from a product perspective, as I noted earlier, we've already started deliveries of the 1,050 horsepower Grand Touring Performance. And we're on track for additional version of the Lucid Air for later this year, followed by the start of Project Gravity SUV production in the first half of 2024. We also expect to ship the very first Lucid Airs into Europe and Saudi Arabia by year end. So we see a lot of opportunity ahead of us. Now, I also want to provide an update on our Formula E relationship. As we approach the completion of 4 successful seasons supplying the standard battery pack to the series, I am proud to say that we have had a 100% safety record to date, with just 2 races remaining in this, the final series season for the Generation 2 race cars. With the advent of the all-new Generation 3 Formula E race cars for next season, Lucid is proud to announce that we will be the sole provider of front drive units for the series. This brand new Lucid front drive unit has been custom developed to provide ultra-high performance with gravimetric and volumetric power density. These drive units are capable of 469 horsepower, yet remarkably are approximately half the weight of the Lucid Air drive units. They're positioned in the nose of the electric race car in front of the driver's feet, with drive shaft connecting out to the front wheels. Make no mistake, this is impressive, next-level technology. And just as our learnings from our racing battery program provided technological transfer into our road car, the Lucid Air, I think that this brand new Lucid high-tech racing drive unit is probably a good pointer to a potentially smaller yet powerful road car drive unit in our future. As far as I'm aware, we are one of only 2 OEMs or car companies that are vertically integrated through the design, development, and manufacturing of our own technology. And I'm confident that as this technology race plays out, Lucid will continue to stand out. And we continue to garner strong industry accolades driven by our technology and our design. In Q2, we won the 2022 awards 10 Best Interiors and UX. This award validates one of the founding principles of Lucid Air, which is the Lucid Space concept. In fact, I recently filmed a Lucid Tech Talk on the space concept, whilst Chief Engineer Eric Bach presented our latest Tech Talk on the Wunderbox bidirectional charger, which you can find on our investor relations website. The software team continues to work hard, with 19 over-the-air updates delivered since the beginning of the year. We added a number of features, including an enhancement to Lucid Air's ability to identify traffic signs and inform the driver of speed limit changes and other important road information, a major upgrade to navigation, as well as other customer-requested features. And we'll have a major software upgrade coming later this year. Now, although I'm delighted by the strength of demand we see for our cars and the ovations it received, I am conspicuously aware that the true value of having what is now widely recognized as a truly exceptional car can only be achieved by producing it in a meaningful volume. And that is why my laser focus, and indeed that of our Lucid team, is right here in Arizona, unlocking the path to our volume ramp up. Make no mistake, although frustrating, this is a phase of our growth as a company that we will power through. And that one we will power through with a steely determination. We have the product, we've augmented our workforce, and we're improving our processes to enable this to happen. Now, furthermore, as we increase the number of vehicles on the road, I believe we will see further demand growth as the awareness of Lucid Air and of the Lucid brand proliferates. I'm also excited about the potential reservation demand for Project Gravity SUV, which we are now considering just how to debut and when precisely to open reservations. Longer term, in order to have a more meaningful impact on the climate, we recognize that we need to be in the more affordable, higher volume segments of the market. And we will be doing just that with our mid-sized vehicle platform around mid-decade, which I believe will further demonstrate the value of our efficiency through our in-house EV technology. In short, I remain very excited about our future and the broad roadmap ahead. Whilst right now we're taking steps to resolve our current constraints, at the same time, we're driving forward with a sense of urgency to get our incredible vehicles to market. And indeed, on that note, I'm very hopeful you will see the fruits of these labors in the coming months and quarters. And with that, let me turn it over to Sherry for an update on our financials and an additional perspective on our business. Sherry.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you to all those who are taking the time to join us today. I want to echo Peter's excitement about our future product and technology roadmap and customer demand. We remain incredibly excited to bring new versions of the Lucid Air to customers this year. And to put the reservation number of over 37,000 in context, this represents potential future revenue of approximately $3.5 billion. And that's before including the up to 100,000 vehicle deal with Saudi Arabia and the future reservations for the Gravity, since we've not yet opened the order books for our upcoming SUV. Our future reservations, taken together with our growing customer base, brand awareness, and number of industry accolades, gives us the conviction to continue to invest in the rapid expansion of our business. Turning to our second quarter financial results, our second quarter revenue was $97.3 million, which represented a quarter-over-quarter increase of 69%. This included $96.1 million in automotive revenue from the delivery of 679 vehicles. We also recorded other revenue of approximately $1.2 million, which includes sales to Formula E. As Peter mentioned, the Formula E drivetrain agreement is the natural next step in our relationship, and it's a true testament to our advanced technology differentiation. Cost of revenue was $292.3 million. Similar to last quarter, this expected increase was primarily related to personnel and overhead costs as we ramp up production, offset by lower freight costs quarter over quarter due to our ability to shift a vast majority of our international shipments from air to ocean freight. We recorded an impairment charge of $81.7 million in the second quarter, primarily as a result of these increased costs being capitalized into inventory. This is fairly typical in initial production ramps, and just as we saw a decline from Q1 to Q2 in this impairment charge, we expect that the impact should lessen over time as we ramp up production volumes toward our planned manufacturing capacity. Moving to operating expenses. We're still in the growth stages of our company and investing behind our strategic priorities. But I want to be clear that we're doing this in a prudent and methodical manner. We're instilling a culture of cost consciousness, and we're working with our talented team members across the company to identify and execute on cost efficiency opportunities. To illustrate this point, I'd like to add on to Peter's earlier comments around the importance of quality. Getting quality right and getting it right early on in the factory helps to reduce downstream costs and improve throughput. So in addition to building the brand and customer loyalty, there's also tangible financial benefits to our quality-first approach. Now turning to research and development, R&D expense totaled $200.4 million. The 7.7% increase sequentially was primarily related to prototype material, engineering, design and testing services, offset partially by lower stock-based compensation expense. SG&A expense was $163.8 million, down 26.6% from the first quarter, primarily due to lower stock-based compensation expense. In Q2, we added 5 new studios for a total of 29 studios and service centers across the US, Canada, and Europe. We're proud to have added new studio locations in Boston, Massachusetts, Manhasset, New York, Denver, Colorado, Seattle, Washington, and our first European studio in Munich, Germany. And we'll continue to strategically open new locations globally as we scale the business and grow our presence. We're also increasing our fleet of mobile vans and have a total of 29 in North America as of quarter end. Our mobile service vans can perform over 80% of the service procedures that can be done in a service center, and it's an important element in ensuring high customer satisfaction and a lower cost approach to providing service as the fleet of Lucid vehicles grows. Stock-based compensation in the quarter was $94.4 million. $10.4 million was in cost of revenue, $39.2 million was in research and development, and $44.8 million was in SG&A. In other income, we recognized a non-cash gain of approximately $335 million related to the mark-to-market value of private warrants. The value of the warrants can be influenced quarter to quarter by a number of factors, including Lucid Group's end-of-quarter share price. Now moving to the balance sheet. We ended the quarter with $4.6 billion in cash, cash equivalents, and investments, which we expect will fund us well into 2023. During the quarter, we also announced a new ABL, asset-based loan credit facility, with initial committed capital of up to $1 billion, and the availability is based on the value of certain eligible assets. The terms also provide for incremental revolving commitments of up to an additional $500 million, subject to obtaining lender commitments. We had no outstanding borrowings under the ABL credit facility in Q2. The importance of this facility is that it provides Lucid with incremental liquidity and demonstrates a vote of confidence from a world-class syndicate of global banks, many of which have been with us through multiple transactions as we scale our business. I'd also highlight that this is a typical part of the capital structure of mature businesses and reflects the further development of Lucid as a growing global company. In Q2, we activated a working capital loan under the Gulf International Bank Facility Agreement in the amount of approximately $6.7 million related to early work to build our factory in Saudi Arabia. We have approximately $86.6 million currently available under the working capital facility, and an additional $173.2 million under a bridge facility. As demonstrated through this series of actions, we are committed to working proactively and opportunistically to ensure that our balance sheet remains an area of company strength. In Q2, we continue to invest in our technology platform, the scaling of our global business, and the manufacturing infrastructure build-out. Capital expenditures related to these activities were $309.8 million in the second quarter. As you can see from the photos we shared in our Q2 earnings presentation, our phase 2 expansion at our Casa Grande, Arizona factory is progressing. When complete, we expect our installed capacity to increase to 90,000 units per year by early 2023. As we exit mid-decade, we expect to reach an annual installed capacity of 350,000 units in Arizona and 150,000 annual units of installed capacity in Saudi Arabia. And that gets you to an annual installed capacity of 500,000 shortly after mid-decade. In Q2, we announced our initial launch plans into the European market with the Lucid Air Dream Edition R, which is optimized for an estimated 900 kilometers of range, and the Dream Edition T, which features 1,111 horsepower. We have not yet begun to accept orders in Europe, but we did reach out to our existing reservation holders to gauge interest in Dream Edition, and we immediately saw strong demand. Moving to some of the other major milestones in the quarter. We launched Lucid Financial Services in June, an all-new digital platform offering a flexible, fast, and transparent financing process. Many Lucid Air customers have been asking for flexible financing options with a preference for a 100% digital experience, and we've delivered on that ask. Loan products are available to U.S. customers in all 50 states and leased products in 38 states and growing through a seamless process designed specifically for Lucid customers. We believe this helps open up the market, as it's estimated that over 65% of OEM customers seek out loan or lease financing. This also enables us to continue to build direct relationships with our customers throughout their ownership journey. Now, it's highly unusual for an auto company to roll out this type of service as early in the growth cycles as truly amazing and great work by the team. Another proud milestone in the quarter was our addition to the Russell 1000 index. Russell indices are widely used by investment managers and institutional investors for index funds and as benchmarks for active investment strategies. Our inclusion in the Russell 1000 index is another significant milestone for Lucid and should help broaden our awareness in the institutional investment community. Now, turning to the outlook. Peter outlined some of the supply chain and logistics challenges, as well as the actions we're taking to address the near-term production bottlenecks we're experiencing. Bringing our logistics operations entirely in-house and accelerating access to our logistics center on-site at our Arizona factory will help reduce complexity, cut down lead times, and reduce various costs. We believe these decisive actions, as well as the addition of leadership across logistics, process transformation, and supplier quality, will help us unlock these bottlenecks. However, it's unlikely we'll be able to make up the anticipated lost volume in 2022. Consequently, we are adjusting our 2022 production guidance to 6,000 to 7,000 units from 12,000 to 14,000 units. Now, turning to our cash guidance, we ended the quarter with $4.6 billion in cash equivalents, and investments, which we continue to believe is sufficient liquidity to fund us well into 2023. This assumes we are investing fully in accordance with our forward plan. As a reminder, we also have the KSA debt facilities and the ABL with significant untapped capacity. I'm also confident we will have options for additional funding as needed, and our strong balance sheet allows us the flexibility to be opportunistic in the market. Moving to CapEx. CapEx in the first half of 2022 was $494.9 million. While the timing of CapEx outflows can shift quarter to quarter, we continue to expect capital expenditures for the year of approximately $2 billion. This funds facilities as well as machinery and equipment in Arizona, retail and service center development, early investment in our presence in Saudi Arabia, and other CapEx associated with vehicle and component development. In terms of our product roadmap guidance, we're on track for deliveries of additional versions of the Lucid Air later this year, including the Air Grand Touring Performance, the Air Pure, the Touring, and for production of Project Gravity SUV in the first half of 2024. In closing, despite our immediate challenges, I'm proud of what our team has been able to accomplish collectively with our business partners. We've enabled financings, we've continued important infrastructure build-out, and launched award-winning products. We welcome the new leadership team members and look forward to the capabilities that they bring as we work together to resolve issues and capture the tremendous opportunities ahead of us. Following Peter's closing remarks, we'll begin the Q&A portion of today's call. Today's Q&A will feature questions from some of our retail investors, an important constituency of our shareholder base, through the Say Technologies platform. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Peter for closing remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. I want to close by thanking all our employees for their dedication and hard work, our customers and investors who've put their trust in us, and our suppliers and partners who are tirelessly helping us on our journey. I'm more convinced than ever that this is a technology race and that we are well positioned with our in-house developed advanced technology. But I want to be clear that right now, my relentless focus is with this great team right here in Arizona, in helping resolving our logistics challenges and in ramping up production. I remain confident that we shall overcome these near-term challenges with a relentless tenacity and a steely determination, and in so doing, put in place appropriate processes and methodologies that will serve us well for the future. And make no mistake, that future is hugely exciting, because right now, more than ever, the world needs the new Lucid products and technology advancements that we have yet to bring to market. And with that, let me turn it back to Maynard to get to your questions.
Thank you, Peter. We'll now start the Q&A portion of the call. Before we take questions from those on the phone, we want to pose some questions from our retail investors sent in through the Say Technology platforms. The first question, straight to it, we all want to know, is there a possibility for a partnership with Apple in the future? And we also have another related question regarding partners that we'll include, which is, since Hertz went with Tesla, would Lucid think about something like a partnership with car rental companies to get the brand out there?
No, thanks, Maynard. So we don't have anything to announce today regarding any new partnerships. That said, we recognize the attractiveness of our products and tech platform for other companies, and we're keenly open to discussing partnership options. With regard to fleets or rental cars specifically, our vehicles align very strongly with the operational and financial metrics that these operators care about. For instance, we are industry leading in efficiency, which is measured in miles per unit of energy and hence miles per dollar. Our charge time and range are also leading the market, which translates to higher vehicle uptime, which both customers and fleet operators desire. And we can also enable fleet operators to manage and run predictive analytics on the fleet and communicate with the fleet, given we've installed an OTA-enabled software platform on every car that we've sold.
Yeah, indeed, Sherry. Even from a vehicle architecture perspective, our Lucid Air Space concept provides additional room for luggage or cargo, or in the case of an autonomous vehicle, ride-sharing fleets, which are configured with the extra computer hardware and equipment. So we have more room for that equipment and the batteries to power the equipment. So, I think for many of these characteristics and attributes would potentially make us a fantastic partner for one of these groups today. And frankly, even more, I guess, over time as we introduce more affordable models in the future, such as the Air Pure and other variants. I mean, what can I say? Oh, well, look, we've got the perfect car and platform for such opportunities, I guess.
Great. We'll move to the next question. Any plans for an EV in the $40,000 to $50,000 range to compete with other EVs in that price range? And there's another question related, which is, will Lucid offer cheaper models for a broader market?
Oh, yeah, this is good. And I think there's a sort of kind of a popular, sort of widespread misperception that Lucid only wants to be playing in the high-end luxury segment of the market, and that's simply not true. You know, I mean, in order to have a more meaningful impact on the climate, we just need to be in that higher volume segments of the market. That's how we're going to really make that impact. And one of the first steps I see Pure as a stepping stone to a more affordable car, and that's why I'm so passionate about the Lucid Air Pure. And I mean, looking a little further ahead, we'll see our mid-sized vehicle platform just mid-decade, which is going to be a further advance in our technology and efficiency story. And I just want to explain, we deliberately chose to start off at the high end because we were defining a brand, a super cool brand with from its Californian DNA, and this is just the starting position. I mean, we start off by creating our tech flagships, such as Lucid Air and Gravity First, and we focused on the technical efficiency. We've set new benchmarks, and then we're going to make more affordable products, and that's what really excites me. Remember that we design, we develop, we manufacture all our powertrain in our factory in Arizona. And we think we can become even more efficient, and that's going to drive down cost of EV ownership and accelerate and catalyze widespread adoption, which is my passion.
And we'll move to the next question. Does Lucid plan to pay out dividends in the future?
We don't currently have plans to do so, but let me give you a little bit of perspective. We believe that our EV technology platform is amongst the best in-house developed technology available in the market today. And so our primary focus is to continue investing behind the strength and the growth of that platform so that we can fulfill our mission, which is to bring sustainable technologies to the world. Therefore, we don't anticipate paying a cash dividend in the foreseeable future.
Thanks, Sherry. And our next question from the same platform is Lucid currently working with Apple to implement the new CarPlay with iOS 16 that will be released in 2023 to utilize all Lucid cockpit displays?
Oh, wow. Well, that's a very specific question, I guess. Look, maybe allow me to explain this more broadly, perhaps. And of course, I can't speak for Apple's future product line here. But we're always evaluating new technologies as they come to market. And of course, we'll continue to do so. Look, we've got an awesome car from a hardware and mechanical perspective. And what I can talk about is some very exciting software updates coming throughout the year that will really sort of match the prowess from the hardware side. And we'll continue to provide new features via over-the-air software updates. And specifically with regards to CarPlay, we're actually in a beta testing phase of validation right now. And actually, we plan to release the final version in the near future. So stay tuned and wait for that.
Great. Our next question, how is Lucid planning to combat inflation and a potential recession in the short term? How will this affect the Gravity SUV that's coming out in 2023 and potentially a $50,000 EV in 2025? And Sherry, maybe you can take the first part, and Peter, you can take the second.
Thanks, Maynard. Well, the entire industry has been experiencing an inflationary cost environment, and we're certainly not immune from that. I mean, with respect to the actions that we've specifically taken, in June, we increased the prices of the Lucid Air, and that was the first time that we announced prices back in September 2020. So we're not going to see a material impact from that action until 2023, given that we honored the prior prices on the reservations made through May 31st and orders of the Grand Touring, which were confirmed in June. As I mentioned in the prepared remarks, we're still in the growth stages of our company and investing behind our strategic priorities. So large-scale blanket cost-cutting initiatives aren't necessarily appropriate in our case. That said, I want to be clear that we're allocating capital in a very prudent and methodical manner. We're instilling a culture of cost consciousness. We're working side by side with our talented team members to identify and then execute on cost efficiency opportunities. It often takes time to get processes to be best in class in efficiency. So there is definitely more work that we can do to rein in costs. Like others in the industry, we're running various downside scenarios and we'll act accordingly based on market conditions.
Yeah, and I think the second part of the question was, is everything on track for Gravity release? As we stated, our Project Gravity SUV is on track for start of production in the first half of 2024. And actually, we're currently in the process of releasing the engineering data for our prototype builds. And I'm hugely excited about that. And I've been closely interacting with that whole process. And we also happen to mention that our mid-size platform, of course, is on track for just past mid-decade as well. Now, of course, it's important to recognize that to sync with the start of production of Gravity, of course, but at the same time, we're readying our factory through the phase 2 here of AMP1 right here in Arizona. In particularly, we're expanding the north end of the body shop, ready for Project Gravity, and the south side of the building, the new assembly halls where we'll run both Air and Gravity down that line. Now, we have customers asking us all the time for an SUV, and our hope is that Gravity can do for the SUV market just what Air did for the luxury sedan market. I'm going to take the same space concept, the range, the efficiency, the technology and design and performance, and apply all that great stuff to an SUV. And I think probably doesn't surprise a lot of people. I'm not a great SUV fan, but this finally is the SUV for me. It's actually going to happen. I've finally met the SUV I love, and that's Project Gravity.
Great, thank you. So now we'd like to take a few questions from the phone lines. Tawanda, can we take the first question?
Thank you. As a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, you will need to press star 11 on your telephone. One moment for our first question. Our first question comes from the line of John Murphy with Bank of America. Your line is open.
Good afternoon, good evening, guys. I just have 3 quick ones. First, Peter, you mentioned that there were finished vehicles that were held at the factory and not, factory gated and ordered as finished. I'm just curious, how many those were and how many of those are close to being finished. Second, as we think about the logistics center being brought on site in Casa Grande, what the incremental cost for that would be, and does that have any impact on capacity? And then the third question, Sherry, what is the ABL borrowing base that's backstopping the new $1 billion loan or ABL facility? And you mentioned that might be upside. So, what other assets could be pledged for that ABL?
Thank you, John. Peter here. The first question was the cars that we held back through Q2 at the factory. We did that to really ensure that the quality was just perfect. And, it was just fit and finish adjustments on what we call flush and gap, the hood to the fenders, the finer points, the finessing that you would expect, features and the quality commensurate with a luxury automobile. And although many of those cars were meeting some of the standards of my quality team, I took the decision that I really want to up the game here and get things right. Now we're actually releasing a lot of those cars. We're directing them to our service centers right now, and they'll find themselves their way through customers, having had that attendant love and attention and care. And I think they'll be delighted with our best efforts to make them as perfect as they can be. You also asked about the logistics center at Casa Grande. Now, this was this was pre-planned. Part of the massive 2.85 million square foot expansion does include several hundred square feet, 100,000 square feet of a logistics space. What we're doing is just accelerating that at a very modest outlay, just getting that a little bit quicker, because the closer we can bring the buffer stock and the materials to the line, that is key to creating a more efficient flow of material within our own house. So this is nothing new, it's just an acceleration of what we've already planned.
That's right. So no real incremental cost to speak of with respect to that LOC. You asked about the ABL. I mean, we are just delighted to put that in place with this world-class group of banks and, in our syndicate. The borrowing base, the initial committed part of it is $1 billion. Okay, and then we can borrow up to about $250 million right now based on eligible assets. That we will grow into more over time as inventory goes up, as other of our assets go up. And so that is something that is going to be available to us on a growing basis, just as we move forward and mature as a company. The neat feature about this ABL is it also has an accordion feature. So although the second part of it, the accordion part, is not committed yet, it is up to an additional $500 million that's going to be available for that.
Thank you. Please stand by for our next question. Our next question comes from the line of Itay Michaeli with Citi. Your line is open.
Great, thanks. Good afternoon, everybody. Also, three quick ones from me. First, it sounds like on the logistics issues, you've identified the problems and the team is in place. Hoping just you can elaborate more on the level of confidence in the second half of the year. Maybe talk about where you expect production split between Q3 and Q4 and degree of confidence you have into growing that for next year. And just secondly, I was hoping you'd also comment on the rate of reservations that you saw after the June price hike. Just curious on what you saw for demand there. And lastly, Sherry, maybe you could comment on the minimum cash balance you'd like to have as you kind of plan out liquidity into 2023.
Hi, Itay, Peter here. I think it's a really excellent question. We've based our guidance based upon a mindset which is neither super unduly optimistic nor unduly pessimistic, a very balanced approach, and we've taken a very comprehensive and very thorough analytical approach to the risks and opportunities that we see and which confront us. This is an imperfect science, an imprecise area, but the entire executive analyzed this very thoroughly, and we have a very high degree of concurrence in our collective thinking, which has led to this revised guidance.
So let me talk to the reservations question. So as you can expect, when we announced in May at our May earnings release that we were going to keep the prices, the old prices, in effect through the end of May and not have them go into effect until June 1st, that did bring forward some reservations. So we had a very large spike that happened in May. You see that as we went from 30,000 to 37,000. That's the largest growth that we've ever had in a 3-month period before. So that did happen as expected. I'd say that the pull aheads had a little bit more pure in it than others, which you also would find as being intuitive, that the lower price points might be a little bit more price sensitive, so looking to lock in that rate. Now, what was really interesting is as we moved ahead the next couple of quarters, and we looked at the reservations that have come in June and July, if we take that June and July base that we've had, and then we add to it the increase, the over normalized increase that we got in May, we are still way ahead of where we would typically be if we were just normalized through June and July. So that pull ahead we're seeing, really might have been a bit of a bump up, just kind of like a marketing event almost, if you will. The other thing that was interesting is we looked at the June and July, reservations that are coming in, is that they continue to be allocated across the same mix allocations that we saw pre-price hike. So you're still seeing pure highest followed by Grand Touring and then Touring. So Grand Touring continues to be above Touring as well. So we're seeing what I would say is very encouraging response and reservations following similar patterns. And when you take the bump in May with the reduction we've seen in June and July, we're sitting in a really great place.
Thank you.
And then third, I think you had a question about, minimum cash balance. So, that one's interesting. There's a lot of different ways to model this because the way we are looking at the 4.6 billion, and when I talk about being well into 2023, I'm talking about going in accordance to our full plan, which is investing in Saudi Arabia, investing in all of our vehicle variants, investing, at this swift pace that we have chosen to do. We have some options there, right? So when you think about the minimum balance, you could stretch that out if you want. So, I'm not really going to provide any guidance, with respect to how much cash we want in the bank, but I just want you to know that you're going to continue to see from us the same type of proactive, kind of opportunistic behavior that you've seen all along. Every quarter, we're coming to you and we're telling you about something interesting that we've done in the capital markets. We did the convertible bond offering. Now we've done the ABL. We put in place the 3.4 billion in Saudi Arabia. So I think you're going to continue to see that kind of action, taking place, from us, monitoring the markets and making sure that we're doing what is prudent on behalf of all investors.
We'll take the next question, please.
Thank you. Our next question comes from the line of Charles Coldicott with Redburn. Your line is open.
Hi, thanks for taking my questions. I've also got three, please. So firstly, again, sorry, on the production, I'm wondering, can you help reassure us a little bit on the ramp up by giving us an idea of what your weekly production rate exited Q2 at and what it is today? My second question, on order intake, Sherry, you just mentioned there that, if you smooth out the last 3 months, it was actually ahead of what you expected. But if I look at it, I think I'm right in saying that you've averaged about 70 or 78 orders a day in the last period since you updated us. And in the 3-month period before that, which was March to May, it was basically the same as that. So I'm wondering, is the sort of explanation that there were cancellations and so the gross order intake was significantly above, or maybe the expectation is that the order intake would slow? And thirdly, Sherry, I think there was $1.4 billion of purchase of securities in Q2. Can you just tell us what that is and whether or not we should treat it as being as liquid as cash when it comes to your funding requirements? Thank you.
Hi, Charles. Peter here. I'm really loath to provide guidance on weekly production rates, and this is because it can be so misleading. There's a whole host of factors. If we can delay production a little bit to put in improvements to our line side supply, which, for example, can improve rate in the future. And once we start cherry picking specific weekly production rates, I think we get into dangerous territory. I think that the numbers we provide you give the most broad and honest description of our ability to have produced cars through this relevant quarter. And our guidance of between 6,000 and 7,000 cars for the year, I believe, is a very balanced and a realistic guide for the future. So I'm sorry, I don't think it's wise for me to give you a weekly production rate right now.
Let me cover off a couple of your questions as well. So you were asking about the short-term and long-term investments. So you're right. We took some of our cash and we parked it in short-term and long-term investments and separately managed funds. And we did this because we didn't need access to all the cash right now, and we wanted to be able to get a little bit higher return on our money. Those dollars are accessible to us at any time, but we don't intend to use them right away, and we plan to let them mature and garner the interest rates, which was the purpose why we put them there. But they are absolutely accessible to us. I don't want people to get confused when they see the cash balance, the cash line on the balance sheet going down quarter over quarter. Some of that was moved into short-term and long-term investments, so our assets are still there. It wasn't that we spent all that, and I definitely don't want there to be confusion on that point. Secondarily, you asked a bit about just the reservation. So when we looked at that normalized curve I was talking about, we did exactly what you said. I looked back 3 months, and I looked back 6 months and 9 months, and I kind of looked at what does that normalization look like. And we are definitely well above that. When you look at May, June, and July, kind of taken together. Cancellations came down slightly. So we've actually seen some improvement there as well. But what you are going to see as we go forward is the deliveries are going to be increasing substantially. So I don't know you're going to continue to see that kind of growth because you're going to have a lot of deliveries coming out of that number. Now, we will be opening up the Gravity order book at some point. Then we expect we're going to get another large spike again, right? So there's going to be some dynamic nature to these reservation numbers going forward, and we'll be sure to be, as transparent as we can about that in future earnings calls.
Great, thanks. And we'll close out with the last question from the Say platform, which is, what is the plan for growth? How do you plan to take more market share in the EV market?
Well, first of all, I have to say this. I think there is no such thing as a market for EVs. There's a market for cars. So we're not competing for this sort of artificial construct of EV market share. I think that's a fantasy. We're competing for the rest of the marketplace, which is huge, the white space, which is currently occupied by outdated gasoline cars. And that's what we're competing with, get the penetration into that market. But I would also say that this is a technology race, and we're in it. And this is yet to play out, because not all EVs are created equal. And I'd also like to add, with Lucid Air, we're addressing specific issues that have been sort of resistance points, I guess, to customer adoption of EVs in the past. We got the longest range, we got the fastest time to charge, we've got incredible space in superior design. It's really leveraging so much more than just an EV. It's leveraging all those advantages that electrification can provide. And I think we can sell more cars because we address these key resistance points. But furthermore, I guess there's a bigger issue at stake here. And I'm glad you asked the question, because it allows me to address this. The world's precious battery materials are really scarce. And our technology allows us to make more cars with less batteries. And this is a point that's really missed, because we can make more cars with less resources, because we can go further for a given amount of energy, because we've got more efficiency. For example, we believe we can endow a Lucid Air Pure with over 400 miles of range with a battery pack size of less than 90 kilowatt hours. That's what's going to make Lucid Air Pure really awesome. Similar range, but fewer batteries than compared with EVs for others. And that is the future. That is the consequence of being in the tech race.
Great, thank you. And I think that's a great way to end. This concludes Lucid's first quarter 2022 earnings conference call. Thank you all for joining us today, and you may now disconnect.
All right, guys. So yeah, that is the end of the Lucid earnings call. So yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit the notification bell. We will be back bright and early tomorrow morning. We got some big earnings tomorrow, which include Alibaba, which is the big one, dropping tomorrow morning. We're going to be covering that live, and other EV cars stocks. We got Nikola dropping tomorrow as well. I know that one has some haters here, but that's okay, because honestly, they tried to push a car down a hill. Let's just be honest here. Papa John's is debuting tomorrow with their earnings. We got Beyond Meat in the evening. We got Twilio. We got Lyft. We got Amgen. We've got Expedia, DoorDash, Dropbox, Chegg, SQ, Carvana. And then we got DraftKings on Friday, along with Goodyear, Western Digital, Brookfield, Cinemark, GoGo, Johnson Outdoors, and Wabtec. And so, yeah, guys, we got some big numbers. Lucid is currently sitting at $18 a share. Remember, we will be back bright and early tomorrow morning, live on stream. So hit the subscribe button, guys. And again, I do want to say, I see you guys always here. I appreciate you all more than you guys know. We appreciate all the supporters we have here and all the people that help make this channel what it is. Free trading content is the future, and we're bringing it here with beginner trading. So good luck, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Again, check out stalk.tech. It is a social media company that, the wait list is live, so you can join the wait list, get prepared for it. We're going to be joining stalk.tech as soon as it goes live. So you can check it out here in the chat right there. Good luck. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6:30 a.m. market time when we go live. Hit the sub button. See you guys next time.